Hello, I'm your host, Jason Miles, here for our very own sports show, Beyond the Red Zone. For our returning listeners, subscribers, and especially our patrons, thank you so much for joining us. You are the driving force behind the TIR machine, and we couldn't do this without you. For those new to the channel, welcome. If you do enjoy this type of programming, please hit like and subscribe. It's a passive gesture that goes a long way towards promoting the channel. For fans of the main show, we had a great conversation with author Alexa Morris about the memoir she co-wrote with her father-in-law about his 2+ years in hiding in Nazi-occupied France. Following that show, we had a very discussion-heavy movie night, more so than usual, with frequent TIR contributor Pasquale Romero, where we watched the 1993 film Falling Down. Tomorrow, I will be back on the main show to discuss filmmaker Jacob Gregor's film about a right-wing man going on a cross-country journey that ends up having a bit of self-discovery. The movie is called The End of History, and you can find it on Memes TV. Now, if you appreciate all the diverse programming we provide here on TIR and all the polemical writings, and you want to join us for these movie nights and champagne rooms, then you should become a patron or a paid YouTube subscriber. You'll get access to the champagne rooms and movie nights. And if you miss a movie night, there's the movie night replay for patrons. And you get the satisfaction of knowing that your small pledge is a large part of making sure this insanity can continue. Now, let's get into the conversation about what you guys came here for. World Cup nationalism. Recently, I had the chance to watch Mexico's World Cup final match in Tijuana with my good friend and fellow kayfabe collaborator, Alex Michel. He's a massive soccer fan and wanted to watch with people, so we headed to a brunch spot that I really like, downtown TJ, that put us right in the middle of all the action. Green jerseys flooded Avenida de la Revolucion as an entire nation waited to witness history. Mexico taking on the football powerhouse of England. England jumped out to a quick 2-goal lead, and that proved to be enough to hold off a relentless Mexican attack. I won't get into why the manager decided to substitute Julian Quinones, but this World Cup has highlighted something fascinating. Quinones wasn't born in Mexico. He was born in Colombia, and 2 other players on the Mexican squad were born and raised in the United States before choosing to represent Mexico instead of the countries of their birth. That raises an interesting question. What does national identity even mean in a tournament built around nations? Recently, in an article for Compact Magazine, TIR contributor Ralph Leonard explored this very phenomenon. He writes about the transnational nature of the modern World Cup, a competition where blood and soil nationalism can exist alongside the legacies of colonialism, all wrapped together in the spectacle of international sport and celebrated with patriotic fervor. From Ralph's article, the deterritorialization of the World Cup. It is normal now for national federations to scout the diaspora and lobby prospects to play for the motherland. For those that believe in the Tebbit test, which posits that the level of loyalty and assimilation of immigrants can be measured by which country they support in sports, this is a worrying prospect. Indeed, in a sense, there is something regressive about a footballer born, raised, and socialized in a European country who plays for a European football club. But when it comes to international football, here's the call of ancestral homeland over the country that shaped him. It seems like a reversal of the expected assimilation process and a rejection of liberal norms of nationality. Thinking with the blood is prioritized over civic participation. But it is a fact that for more and more players, which national team they will play for is not a given, but a conscious choice. And there are many reasons why that choice might be made. Nationalists love a feel-good story of diasporic players returning to their roots to play for the motherland, especially when they could have played for the European nation of their birth, which would be more prestigious for their resume. But in many cases, it isn't as romantic. Sometimes players settle for representing their ancestral nation because there is no prospect of them playing for their country of birth, as the talent pool is simply too stacked. That, in turn, creates resentment. among fans who see their national team as a player's second choice. Still, the fact that more players in the diaspora are playing for their ancestral nations illustrates the rise of what Benedict Anderson called long distance nationalism. Because of cheap air travel, satellite television, and social media, the diaspora and the homeland have been brought much closer together, bypassing the traditional assimilation process. Far from undermining nationality and nationalism, neoliberal globalization has changed how it is expressed. Nationality, nationality is deterritorialized and made portable. A soccer player who was born and raised in the United States but plays for Mexico is participating in an imagined community, even if he's never set foot on his ancestral soil and doesn't know the local dialect. The emergence of the transnational World Cup shows just how messy and contradictory human identity and belonging can be. Again, that's from our good friend and Compact Magazine journalist, Ralph Leonard. The article is titled The Deterritorialization of the World Cup, and it's well worth your time. Now, coming all the way live from a secret bunker somewhere in North Carolina, please welcome one of the few LeBron fans left, Mac. I should say one of the few Ohio LeBron fans left.
Listen, if you read the whole name this time, it says LeBron come home if you're playing for the minimum. Okay, like that's not a penny more. Not a penny more than the minimum. If you want to just come and hang out for a couple years, Cleveland sends a second rounder to LA. We bring in Bronny, and then next year we draft Bryce. So it'll just be a whole James family reunion. You know, hopefully
Bronny there, huh?
Yeah,
and
we got
actually we got the author of this piece to join us all the way live at 2:14 a.m. in merry old England. Please welcome Ralph Leonard.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Thanks for agreeing to come on. I didn't think you were going to come on because we were going to do this so late, and it kind of, sort of worked out for you. Mac, I know you have some things to say, so.
Oh, I mean, are we just jumping into the topic here? Because where you at, Nuri? Don't ever preach to me about the U.S. national men's team again. Don't do that.
We coming for you, nigga.
Woof.
All right. Like I was telling Jason, the U.S. men's national team is the Cincinnati Bengals under Marvin Lewis. Okay, they beat the teams like the Browns and the Cardinals, the Panthers, like they're supposed to, but then they can't beat the better teams. So, Nuri, kiss my grits. I love you still, but fuck off. All right.
Now.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like we'll get into this before Ralph, brings us into what we're supposed to be talking about. Like, I think the U.S. men's team are just going to be that team that gets to the round of 16, and then that's it. They're not going to get over that hump, and they won't get over that hump until we actually have a real training model where the best athletes are being put on the field, right? And we're not going to have that as long as we continue down this kind of like pay-to-play model that we have, right, to get these players the most exposure on these, AAU equivalent teams, and kind of do less training to get the 4-year scholarship to play soccer at the collegiate level, right? When there's less focus on that, and like Zahir said, let's put them through like the actual academies that are going to develop them as players and get them ready to play in those big national stages. We're not going to be, the U.S. is not going to be, they'll be the round of 16. That's what they'll be, and they'll never get past it.
What do you think about that, Ralph? Because the training ground in the UK and just in Europe in general is so different when it comes to developing players. Here in the States, I don't know if you follow U.S. soccer at the very low, what would you call them, Mac? I don't want to say club levels. Grassroots levels. Has a lot to do with leagues that a lot of these leagues are owned by venture capital and making the leagues winners. So imagine 8 to 9 year olds that are playing competitive let's call it football for the. I noticed in your article it bounced around from soccer to football. I don't know if that was on purpose, or if those were editorial errors. But let's call it football for all intents and purposes. So young football players in the States, if they get on a team that wins one of these titles, then it's a winning team and you can charge more. But as far as like developing the talent, it's kind of about how much can you extract from suburban moms and dads.
Because it does seem like football in America is like more of a middle class,
Yes.
suburban mom sport.
Yes.
Whereas in Europe and all across the world, it is a working class sport. In the sense that people play it on the street. That's where like a lot of kids, that's their first encounter with football, is outside any kind of institution or any kind of organized. It's just having a kick about with your mates in a park.
Mm-hmm.
And then from then, that's when it gets into the local club, and then Sunday league. Every Sunday, that's where they come. And then they start playing in these leagues, and then for certain players, that's when the actual professional clubs will have a look at them, and that's when they'll pull them into their academies and trial them out. And if they think they're good enough, they'll bring them into their own academy, and then down the years sort of assimilate them into their team eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Though even the academy system can be quite brutal in Europe, because a lot of players just get rejected and boo it out, and then they're all on their own basically. So yeah.
But Ralph, wouldn't you say that's a better developmental model for younger players? Because there is a stress put on developing footwork and the endurance to play this game, 90 minutes plus. Yeah. Whereas, like Jason said here, if you can pay, you're going to get coaches that are just focused on winning this league title. Yeah. Right. And on top of that, the family is paying like a fee to get them into the league. Then you're paying for the equipment. You're also paying to attend these tournaments that these kids are being forced to go to at like 9 years old. I just think it's ridiculous. The way we do like sports for kids here in the US is insane.
Yeah, that stuff is quite insane. That pay to play model is that's a shakedown from as far as I can see it. That is a shakedown of, as you put it, suburban moms. And in Europe, there's also a different, especially in continental Europe, because I'm speaking from England, but in continental Europe, there's also the emphasis on developing the players, for kids, their technical ability with the football, what they can actually do with a football, not just simply, are you a good athlete or not? Are you a footballer? Are you a baller? Right? That's where, obviously Messi is like a very extreme, because he's so unique, his talent, but that's why it's not just being a good footballer. It's not just being the tallest or like even necessarily the strongest, because some of the best players, there are many brilliant players who aren't necessarily the most athletic or like the most strongest, but they still have a place in football. And even there's even a kind of critique of how even European football is going. That's becoming, there's too much of an emphasis now on the athleticism, but not on the technical ability. But I'm sure I'm still certain that's still, we're not as quite as regressive as the US in how they develop football. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, we have an issue here because, like, you got to think, out of the 4 big sports in the United States, football, American football, basketball, hockey, and baseball, half of those leagues use, colleges as their developmental system.
Yeah.
And, baseball is moving to that, right? They want to completely eliminate high school kids' abilities to enter the professional ranks until they've been in college for 2 years, right? And it's because these owners don't want to pay for development, when it comes to paying, and I think that is I think it's a huge issue. Like Jason and I talked about this a couple months ago, sticking with baseball, the biggest section, of people having Tommy John surgery, right, which was damage to the elbow, are 15 to 18-year-old boys, because they're not being taught to pitch. They're being taught to throw as hard as they can, right?
Yeah.
And it puts all this stress, stress on the ligaments, stress on the arm, right? I mean, we're seeing kids in the United States take essentially an extra year of middle school so they can develop more in the hopes of getting a college scholarship so they can approach playing in the pros. I think our entire just athletic, setup is broken.
Yeah.
Right.
In Britain, it's very separate. There's a separation between like your, say, football development. It's not intertwined with your schooling as such or with higher education in the same way. You don't have, it's not like you have football scholarship if you go to university. It's almost like it's either university or football. Like,
yeah.
You pick your choice,
Yeah, and like I Landon Donovan has talked in depth about this, about how we need to end the pay to play model here in the States, because like you said, it's middle class or more affluent, right? That's where it's kind of made its inroads in growing in this country, right? And he said athletes, but maybe he meant it the same way you did, just footballers, getting the best footballers on the field to develop and play for the United States. He's like, we're not doing that right now. He also said we need to completely remove sports from schools, which I completely agree with, but I don't think that'll ever happen. There's just certain,
and also I think it would also do America the good that it would have to improve its own league, its own football ecology, because you also, in order to develop your best players and to keep your talent in America, you need to have a good league, or at least some, whether it's, the MLS, because a lot of the times in Europe, we kind of mock the MLS as basically a retirement league or like washed
that
up.
last cash grab before they try to make it in Hollywood.
Yeah. And I think it would help the U.S. national team in the long run if American players who are schooled in football here also play in America in the league. At least in the initial early development of their career, because so that kind of ecology, football ecology, kind of benefits from it. And then
the insane thing is the big two international sports, football and rugby. Football's the second most played sport in the United States right now, like for young kids, right? And a lot of that has to do is people do not want them playing American football because, I don't know, you play long enough, you smooth out your brain, and then you're able to skip it across the lake, when you're done playing. But in rugby, like our domestic professional league is cratering. The one real academy system we had, it just went bankrupt and they're folding it. It was based in Charlotte. So it's like Americans, we want to have successful leagues. We want to be the best, but it's like, we don't want to make the actual investments. And I don't mean like private equity or venture capital, like just as a community, we don't want to make those investments into proper training. Because everything has to be commodified.
But the thing is, suburban moms will pay for it, kind of like baseball, right? Like there's no reason to have some sort of farm system if you're using suburbia to pay for it and South America to pay for it.
Yeah.
And also, I think there's also a real problem when we're talking with really, really young kids, that you're using them as there's that competitive mindset already, instead of allowing them to just enjoy the game. Because
Yeah.
without that initial love of and enjoyment of the game, you have nothing. Because when you get older, that's where, like, obviously you think about the competitive aspect, and you think about, we have to win, the elite winning mindset, and thinking of it as a professional sport when you're older. But when you're doing that with young kids, you drive that kind of joy and the love of the game, and even the ability for them to express themselves on the pitch, right? Because we always have it both ways. Because we always complain about how, footballers, they're so robotic, they're not they're not like Ronaldinho or Ronaldo Nazario back in the day. But then we don't criticize the fact that we beat it out of them literally when they're young. That kind of creative and expressive aspect of it. It's always about the, turning them into robots who just do a function in the system. If you see what I mean, that the individuality that gives football that magic. That's why football has been called the beautiful game. That aspect needs to be nurtured, and if that's not in America, it also applies here in England and in other European countries as well.
Oh, dude, I think it just because of the influx of cash into these leagues. Like, I mean, when you look at the second and third level of English football now, it's not just locally owned teams. You've got Tom fucking Brady buying a team that almost it was so badly managed, it was going to go bankrupt, and he buys a chunk of it. Like, why is Tom Brady, of all people, maybe one of the most famous Americans in the last 40 fucking years, buying a third tier English football club? Right? It's because everybody wants a piece of English football.
Yeah, because you just so much money. There's too much money in it.
Yeah, but you're not buying into the EPL unless you're an oil sheik or a huge private equity fund.
Or if you're the Glazers who bought Man United debt with debt.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to play this video for you guys just real quick, where someone actually talks about the difference between English and American football.
Youth soccer, what you guys are talking about. I live in Bethesda. There's 100 youth soccer clubs around me, right? Because there's a lot of rich suburban parents here. When I lived in DC, do you know how many youth soccer clubs were around me? One. And that's because I lived in Northwest. Okay. So we're not taking soccer to where the population density is. We're taking it to where the rich parents are. Because in the rest of the world, the coaches get paid for developing players and selling them. Here, the coaches get paid for winning at under 8 and under 9, marketing that, and then making the next wave of parents pay for it. So right there, we're not honestly developing players. We're trying to make profit off of parents. And at the professional rank, I don't want to get too deep in the weeds, but England has 11 divisions. You guys could tomorrow go out and make Grant and Danny FC and go into the Isthmian 6 League, and I mean, probably not, but one day end up in the Premier League. Everybody knows the Wrexham story, right?
Yes.
With McElhenney and Reynolds. We don't have that here. We have an effective monopoly signed off on by the Federation of MLS to kind of, own American soccer. And we don't incentivize small investment in the game. Well, in London, there's like 50 clubs. So everybody gets a shot. And in England, if you look at the English team, I'll just throw this example out there. They got a bunch of dudes who are playing in the World Cup who in the last 4 or 5 years were playing in the 4th and 5th tier of British football. They were still making a living and could still be late bloomers. Youth soccer,
Ralph, what say you to that comment?
That's largely true, right? England has a very complex football pyramid, because obviously there's the Premier League, former Division 1, the Championship, League 1, League 2. That's the 4 professional leagues, and then there's the National League, and then there's all these other like the non-league football leagues that you go down. So yeah, England has a very, if you will, rich football pyramid. So yeah, which largely proves the point that the person you played was saying, which and that does bear fruit in how players come from the grassroots into Premier League.
Yeah, I mean, what kills me is it's like I understand there's differences in the game and the establishments of the game, right? But you've got an ability to play in the for the National League, that lowest tier in English football, that fifth tier, and the ability to move up as you progress as a player, or based on your output. Like here in the US, you don't have that.
Yeah,
right.
You don't have relegation.
Yeah, you have, if you played high school American football at a small school in a small town, it doesn't matter the numbers you put up. There's going to be a bias from collegiate coaches because you played at a small school. Yep. You didn't play at like Mater Dei, which is like a high school football powerhouse, right? Yeah. Or at some of the schools in Miami or in Texas, and the only scholarship offer you might get is from like the University of Akron, Sacramento State, all these very tiny schools. And when we allowed, the transfer rules changed, college players can get paid for playing now. Finally, we saw Jason can attest. We've seen a lot of pushback from a lot of people that are like, this was horrible. Players shouldn't have this kind of freedom of movement. Well, they're developing as players. They cut their teeth at a smaller school and move to a bigger one so they can perhaps continue to play.
Best case scenario.
Yeah. And thank you, Jason. And can possibly play professionally. Right. And it just kills me how, and with with football here in the US, we have USL, which is a secondary professional league, which is actually setting up promotion and relegation. And MLS fought them tooth and nail to ensure that they couldn't be on the same level. Their top league couldn't be at the same level as MLS. Well, they lost that fight, and, but they don't have the pockets that the MLS clubs do, and I think it would just, promotion relegation would help, I think really help all our sports here, right?
Yeah,
whether it's based,
there's jeopardy.
Yeah.
And it gives a meaning to the competition. It's kind of ironic that America has the reputation as like, the free market land, but when you actually want to apply free market competition principles into sports, then there's like a weird like, whoa.
There's such a monopoly on American sports. I mean, people forget the USFL won that lawsuit against the NFL for a monopoly on fall football.
Yeah.
The thing was, the USFL was ran so poorly.
Yeah.
They were awarded $1.
And because it was an antitrust lawsuit, the reward was trebled. So they actually got $3. And that check was never cashed. It was never cashed. The final commissioner of the USFL has it in a safe deposit box, and he keeps it.
Oh, by the way, just to say, to Red Dogra's question, the team I support is Man United. So
there you go.
Yeah. So
and don't fucking ask again. He said it like that. But don't fucking ask again.
So obviously, I've got a bit of an axe to grind with the Glazers.
Well, I mean, the Glazers have barely run their American football team well. I didn't know what the fuck they were thinking when they bought into the EPL.
Because Man United's a cash cow for them, because they didn't spend a dime of their own money to get it. So that's why they used the whole debt.
And see, this is another thing I find fascinating about English football. They have debt rules, right? And it kills me when like these other outside entities that aren't from or familiar with the EPL purchase teams, saddle it with debt, and they're like, "Bro, I didn't know, and you're gonna take points away from me." what the fuck, man? You know, like it's like, dude, you should probably learn about what you're getting into, you know.
Well, they got away with it because Man United were still successful for most of the time they've owned it, so they got away with it.
Yeah,
So
I mean
they
that's just a corollary for how rich people are getting over on all of us all over the planet. So,
But talking a little bit about what you were writing about in the piece about, kind of soccer and nationalism, which I found very interesting, especially in Mexico, where pretty much the star player on the team is not Mexican. He's an African Colombian, very dark-skinned man that got picked up by the Mexican club teams when he was about 16 years old.
Okay.
And has played in this country ever since, has made these teams he's played for much better, and has made Mexico his home,
Okay.
et cetera, et cetera. Julian Quinones is his name. And the love that people have for that guy, it's one of those things where Mexicans start turning into white people and they go, hey, my favorite player is a black guy. Just to let you know, we're not racist like those Mexicans in the States. We are so much nicer. Is it? Yes, it happens.
it's the sad thing is it's so true.
Oh god.
You know, it's like Boston fans. They're like, I love that guy. I fucking love him. He drops like
Boston
two
had
pack.
to win the black championships in the
Yeah.
the 2000s.
But watch that guy go 0 for 3 or drop a pass, and Boston fans are suddenly dropping hard R's everywhere, every third word.
The hardest of ours.
Yeah,
Just like Johnny Appleseed planning
just
hard
planting, just all in rows, really neat, you know.
rows and rows of hard. I feel like the UK is a little different with their hard R's. Actually, I want to ask Ralph about this. Ralph, you have to answer all of our World Cup and racism questions.
Okay.
So, an American influencer.
Ralph is like, it's fucking 3 a.m. here, and I have time to deal with this shit. You know?
There's an American influencer that's at the World Cup, and he is a bit buffoonish. His name is iShowSpeed.
Yeah, iShowSpeed. Yeah.
And he got
Ronaldo
called
Ronaldo fanboy.
Yes, so he got called an N-word by some fans.
The Argentina fans.
Well, yeah, and part of me wants to go, it's Argentina.
Yeah. They don't beat the allegations.
No.
No, not especially after what was it? The senator said. She's like, I come from a time when we just called, black people this filthy thing. And everybody was just like, what? And what killed me is she's like in their left party. And she's like, what? It was normal when I was growing up. I don't see what the big deal is.
He can't read.
Yeah.
Oh, do you remember the Argentina players, what they sung about France all those years ago? The Mbappe. Basically,
What did they sing? The monkey song or something?
The French players are basically Africans and Algerians. They're not really French. Something along those lines.
Oh, thank you, Bay Planner. Sorry, everybody. That particular senator wasn't from Argentina. They were from Paraguay.
Yeah.
So thank you.
I think she was from the
appreciate
right-wing party, though.
Was it?
Yeah, she's from the
somebody
right-wing party.
somebody said
She's from
because
the
I
left
didn't
party.
read.
No,
I didn't read much into it.
she's a right-winger. But Ralph, what have you heard about the iShowSpeed? Because I think the World Cup was supposed to look into these charges of racism.
Well, I mean, I presume if those Argentina fans were screaming like the hard R's at iShowSpeed, then I mean, what can you say? That it is what it is. Like that has to be. Well, obviously that has to be dealt with in some way.
Virtuoso, thank you for the super chat. He says New England pronounces the World Cup with a hot ah.
With I forgot New Englanders only have 25 out of the 26 letters.
I mean, dude, for the black players on England's team, is it all good in the hood over there, or do they face a little bit of racism internally as well?
For the most part, it's good, but occasionally, yeah, they do experience some, racism. Maybe not in the hard R sense, but it's more as typically British. It's very understated.
Yeah, it's the Nigel Farage version of racism.
Very gaslighting. Yeah.
Well, Ralph, I thought of you and Jing Bajlan as I watched a film from where you were there. After the show, weren't you on the show where I showed you guys that movie Sapphire?
Yeah.
I mean, they dropped some hard R's in 1959 England. I don't rent to niggers. Whoa!
Nigel Farage is over there like, I don't see what the problem with this film is. Just...
there was a film that came around the same time. I think it's called The Dam Busters.
Mm-hmm.
And in that film, there's a dog, a black dog, black furred dog that's called a hard R.
Oh my gosh.
And they just refer to him in that way.
What? Oh my god. Man.
Jesus. Because part of me, when you see those brothers on the English team, you kind of want to root for them. But I just, after the Mexico loss.
Well, you should have seen it in the last Euros 2021, when England played Italy. And it was a penalty shootout. And England missed the last 3 penalties. And those players were all black/mixed race. Jadon Sancho, Marcus Rashford, and Bukayo Saka. And they got it hard on social media after that because they missed the penalties. That's when you see the racism against English players. It's when they fuck up.
Yeah.
That's when you'll see it.
That's
anxiety.
This is what kills me about all this, right? Like we talk shit. Jason and I talk shit all the time. That's kind of like why we do the show. Like a short period of serious conversation and it's just like shit talk and then dick and fart jokes, right? But I couldn't do that. Like even if I was a footballer, right? Sitting in front of 50, 60, 70,000 people and then having almost 1 billion people watching you on fucking TV. No, thank you. I'm going to buckle. I'll pass. Coach, bring somebody else in to kick for me. I'm fucking good. Because I don't have the skin to put up with that if I fucked up and just having my phone go off the entire fucking night with people like, yo, Comrade Mac, you're a little bitch. You can't kick well. Fuck you. I hope you fall into a hole and die. Like I could deal with that.
Or you just open up your DMs. Good morning, nigger. You missed another goal, nigger.
Yeah, it's like that's kind of the thing with English football fans is that they've had this reputation of being rather schizophrenic when it comes to their players. They're very willing to turn on them on a dime if they make a mistake that costs them in the World Cup. So like David Beckham, right? Remember in 1998 he did the red card against Argentina, and basically it seemed like the country basically wanted to lynch him. Like there were actual like dummies of Beckham hanging from lampposts. That's how intense the hatred. That's how intense the hatred was at the time.
That's insane to me.
If a black guy misses a kick, Mac, on the team, Ralph can't go to one half of his family's house for the.
Like
no, Mom, I'm gonna pass on this one. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
No, I'm not gonna go to grandma's. I don't know. Uncle Danny's gets a couple in him, and all of a sudden it's my fault we lost the World Cup. I don't know.
he gets one too many enemies like blaming me for why we had to do Dunkirk. I don't even know what the fuck's going on anymore.
Oh, 2 World Wars and 1 World Cup, dude.
Yeah. Two world
See, this is the problem, and I think Americans have seen this by being a co-host of the World Cup. Is like international fandom is so much better because you give them 10 minutes, they have a song, like it's just ready to go. Everybody somehow knows the words already, and it's like, when did you guys make this up? 10-15 minutes ago. What the fuck? There's like 10,000 of you singing it right now. Like American fans were just like, yeah, or you suck. And then it's
USA,
USA.
Yeah.
It's
Ralph, tell them about the abuse Jane McLean gets for his politics. Who's Jane McLean?
Yeah.
Tell us, inform the crowd, Ralph.
Yeah, James McLean is Irish,
Mhm.
and this was years ago. He got some heat because on Remembrance Sunday, November the 11th, usually it's tradition for football players to wear the poppy, right? And I remember he refused to do it because he saw it as being Irish, and he was like very Irish Republican is politically. That's what he is. He saw that as basically a glorification of militarism, especially of the British Empire, because the red poppy is kind of associated with, intertwined with that kind of cult of the military, sort of thing. And he refused to do it, and he got a lot of dogs abuse for it. And
you remember that dog Ralph was talking about? That's what they were calling him when he refused to wear the poppy. All right, like,
and he's white.
Yes,
guy.
Yeah, Jason. He's from Derry. Like, he's from literally the most war-torn city in Northern Ireland. The epicenter of the Troubles was Derry, right? And he was just like, they were like, all right, it's Remembrance Sunday. We have a match. You're going to wear this. And he's like, no, I'm not. Not wearing that shit. And he was called everything but the name his parents gave him. Yes.
Yeah, everything but his name.
whatever British horrible slang for Irish people there were, that's what he was called, like.
Yeah. But then, of course,
so how are you feeling about this upcoming match, though, against Norway, Ralph?
Ooh. I'm quietly confident.
Really?
But I don't think we should underestimate Norway. I don't think, because Norway are a good team. They've shown they are a good team. And it's not just like they've got Haaland, right, as the goal scorer, but their midfield they are just like a good unit, especially the midfield, because they've got Odegaard, Sanderberg. These are good players. And, even though, yes, you could say that man for man, England have better players, or Norway as a team, they've shown they're good. But I do think we'll find a way to get past them. It's like a 1-0, like a jammy 1-0, 2-1.
Well, dude, I mean, Kane has shown he's just going to pull one goal out of nowhere every single match.
Yeah.
It just, you're like, there's no way it's going to happen. He hasn't scored yet. And then he puts the ball in the net, like it's just.
And if it's not him, it's Jude Bellingham. And those are like the two players who can conjure up a moment that can win a game. They are match winners, right? Even though I personally, this is my contrarian take, that Jude Bellingham is a bit overrated. Well, the one thing you can't deny him is that he's got an elite mentality, and that is what drives him to be a moment player, whether for Real Madrid or for England. And you just can't take that away from him. He does deliver the goods for England. And Harry Kane, he is like the best striker in the world at the moment today. So clearly, when you've got those two, you always have a chance.
What about France?
France.
Are they your favorite? Are they your favorite to win it all?
Ralph, I was hoping you would just throw out, why are we talking about France? Fuck France, and then wait for Jason to say the next team. But, you know.
Well, I'll just put it like this. They are the favorites, but I don't think they're going to win it.
You don't
It's
think
like-
who are they playing up next? I forget.
They're playing Morocco.
Morocco.
So,
You don't think they can get past Morocco?
well, they can, but then after they get past Morocco, they'll probably play Spain, the semi-final. Now, that's
Yeah.
not going to be an easy game.
But Spain is playing.
Belgium.
You think Spain's just going to blow by Belgium?
Yeah, I think Spain will. They'll get past Belgium.
Mac, do you think so?
I mean, just with as little as I know about the sport in general, and this being the first World Cup in 44 years I've paid attention to, Spain has looked very, very good. Like Ralph had said, Norway is just top to bottom. Like, that is a complete team. And granted, again, I don't know the nuances of the game. Spain kind of looks that way too. Like, they play very well together.
Yeah.
They know when to put their foot on the gas and keep it going. They know when to like back off a little bit. They know when to play defensive minded. Like, it seems like they just play very well as a team. And that's always going to be rough to deal with, you know, and Belgium looked that way too against the US. But I will say, again, America's goalie just decided, what, I have to show up now, right? Especially when, you know, he goes all the way to the forefront of like the goalie's box and just tries to kick the ball and whiffs, completely whiffs.
Yeah.
And
it's a long way from when you had Tim Howard in goal.
yes. You know, and it just, the US didn't look good. They didn't look good in that final match against Belgium.
Yeah, it's just it was surprising with Belgium because when they played Senegal, you could say, look, this Belgium team is not that good, but they found a way to get past Senegal, and then to see the way they played against the US was a little bit surprising because I would have thought the US would put up a bit more of a fight, make it a bit more of a game of it.
Yeah, I mean, what did you like, Ralph? I seriously thought right before the half, it looked like the US was just like, well, we're not going to win this time, so we'll wait. You know, we got 4 more years to prep for the next one. Like, that's essentially how the US team looked. You know, and I was really surprised because, like, when they got the goal to go down 2-1, I was like, okay, there's still a bit of fight left in them. Then you see Pulisic go down with a sprained ankle, you know, and, you know, he's immediately, everybody's, you know, he was hurt the entire time. But that, I think that goes back into like the development thing, like we were talking about. You have to have a deep team if you're going to make a run in these types of tournaments, you know, especially considering the Heat is killing everybody's depth right now. You know, it might not be like UAE bad, you know, like, but still, when you add in the humidity, it's fucking gnarly, you know? So like you've got to have a deep team, be able to call guys off the bench. And, you know, what killed me about Belgium, I think they didn't even have their best guy on the field for most of that match.
Yeah.
And they put up 4 goals, you know, like it was.
And to be honest, I think the whole Balogun episode was a bad omen. I know for some reason, like all this effort was made to bring him back in because, you know, he was like the star boy, but then it didn't help the US at all. It's like, it's almost as if he didn't play, this is superstition talking. It's like, if he didn't play, US might have actually done a little bit better.
Yeah, I mean, just with all that shit going into it, I mean, honestly, if it doesn't come out that Trump called Infantino, you can just chalk it up as a football fan and being like, well, that's FIFA being FIFA, you know, like, you know, because it's literally the second most corrupt sporting organization on the planet behind the IOC, you know, like, so, you know, if it doesn't come out, Trump made the phone call, you can just kind of like chalk it up to that shit, right? But the minute it comes out, Trump called him. Like, yeah, that's bulletin board material. You've got that shit posted in the locker room before the match. Like, look at these fucking assholes, you know? Like, let's go out and put it to them. And that's exactly what happened, man. You know, but I mean, it's been actually really rad, Ralph, to have watched this tournament. And I've only missed like 2 matches because I was working. But like the goaltender from Cape Verde was just a fucking brick wall. You know, watching, you know, just how cool. Oh, dude, yeah, and all the fan bases interacting. Like, yeah, you're gonna have dickheads like with the people that were interacting with ISO Speed, and you know, not everything's gonna be all, you know, fun and games, but like the fan bases just have been to watch that kind of, I guess, absolute psychotic fanaticism, but you're doing it in such a way where it's like fun and not like psychotic. You know, I think that's been pretty cool to see.
That's what the World Cup, just football in general, does well. Is it has a way of inculcating national feeling, and and subliminates it into sporting rivalry in a way that's not as, say, toxic as, say, real life nationalism, if you will. Like it's the same competitiveness, but there's a kind of good spirit to it.
Yeah, I mean, dude, like it's just I'm a rugby guy. Like my World Cup is typically Rugby World Cup. That I played the sport, I enjoy it. Yeah, you know. But you know, where I live in the United States, we got an MLS team down the road. There's an NWSL team, you know, just up the road, and you know, we got a couple USL teams. So I was like, fuck it, let's just get into this because everybody else is doing it, you know. But you know, it was, you know, it's been fun to learn the sport, and I've really enjoyed it. Like, and I'm trying to kind of kick myself in the ass for not paying attention to it earlier, but that's more the rugby thing in me. Like, oh, fucking soccer players, you're a bunch of bitches, you know. But yeah, man, it's
always disrespecting the referee. You know?
Yeah. Oh, he didn't even get hit, but he's rolled 10 yards downfield. What the fuck, man? You know, like.
Yeah, and, you know, the thing about rugby is that you can hear what the referee is saying and what the players are saying to the referee, whereas in football, that could never happen. That just simply could never happen.
I mean, and I love the interactions between rugby referees and like the players, because the player will be ready to pop off, and the rugby's like, "Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, no." You know, like no. And then the player's just like, you know, he just goes back like, man.
Yeah,
you know?
he knows he can't step over that line.
But I mean, who was the big surprise for you during the tournament so far?
I would say Cape Verde. The fact that they put up, for a country that small, the fact that they got past the group stages, and when they played Argentina, gave them a very, very good game of it, and nearly went past them.
I mean, Messi.
Yeah.
I mean, the only reason Cape Verde doesn't pull that out is Messi does more messy shit, right? Like he just, I mean, I knew who Messi was, right? But getting to see him even this late in his career doing messy things, like it's just like, what the fuck, man? How? This isn't like, it's not fair.
Like, even though he plays in the MLS now, this shows he is still one of the best players in the world, even as he's touching 40 years old. He's nearly, like, the guy's nearly 40 years old, and he is still one of the best footballers in the world.
Well, I mean, I think that's what I really appreciated him when he came over to Miami. He's like, listen, I'm not as fast as I used to be. I'm not as strong as I used to be. You know, I can't get the ball off my foot the way I used to. I'll facilitate the offense here. And then his first year in Miami, I think he played like half the season, and he was like second in assists in the league. You know, like it's just when you have a guy like that, and you know, that's kind of willing to do what it takes to get for the team to be successful. I mean, that's pretty rad.
And sometimes you know how a player is just so naturally talented when they're older, when they're so like their athleticism kind of leaves them, but they've still got that kind of core technical ability
Yeah.
still with them. So, because Messi can still get past a man, he can still ping a pass, he can still, shimmy and then, score a goal in the way he usually does. He's such you can see just how intelligent of a footballer he is, that he still can do what he does, even though he's clearly older. Like, he doesn't quite.
Yeah.
He's a little bit slower than he was before. His body is, quite clearly a little bit rusty, but he can still deliver the goods.
Yeah, I mean, the way
and the fact that he's doing it in this Argentina team, because frankly, this Argentina team, if you take Messi out of it, I think it's quite average. Like, frankly, because
I mean, that's the thing though. Like, he just makes his teammates better, right? Not even just him commanding, the attention from the opposite team, but the way he sees the field, the way he can move the ball to facilitate to his teammates. I mean, it's been something to see, and I mean, I agree with you 100% with Cape Verde. I think that was the biggest one. I was really hoping that Haiti would have pulled out at least one win, but I understand the challenges that team has to deal with. I think Iran was another big one for me, considering what they had to deal with to compete this year.
I would, even Morocco, to be fair, because obviously the last World Cup, they went into the semi-finals. But the fact that they're in the quarterfinals of this World Cup, shows that wasn't a fluke.
Yeah.
Last time, that they are actually a very very, very good team. And that's a team that actually taps into its diaspora talent, that, because they recruit players who are born in France, the Netherlands, Spain, and the fact that they can form a team and are, they've gotten this far into the World Cup, and they will give France a game tomorrow. They will give France a game. France is not going to have it easy against them.
Yeah, I mean, will there really be any easy games going forward though? I mean, we're in the final 8 teams out of 48. I can see, like you were saying, like each one of these matches could just end up a slog. 1-0, 2-1. Because I mean, you got to think at this point, every team's hurt. They've been playing a match every 3 days, 4 days at this point. Granted, your body acclimates, but as someone who moved from a not humid and hot place down to where I live in the States, where it's that for 8 months out of the year, I'm still never really prepared for it. I just feel like all these matches going forward will probably be all pretty rough. And I'm really looking forward to it, because my buddy told me, you think it was intense prior to this, wait till you get to the quarterfinals. That's when shit gets insane.
Yeah.
How have you felt about the expansion of the field?
To me, I wasn't a big fan of it, because I felt that it kind of cheapens the World Cup, because the point, or maybe it's because of my age, because I've been used to the round of 16 version of it, because back in the day it was even smaller.
Yeah.
But I felt like I always kind of was a bit worried that the quality of the teams that would be coming in, that were, when it expanded, will kind of degrade the spectacle of it and the quality of football. Because this is like the elite international competition.
This is the big one. This is where the best teams are. Yeah.
Not everybody should get into it easily. But I don't know. Maybe in the next World Cup, when you're used to it,
it won't be such a big deal.
Yeah, it won't be such a big deal. Maybe it's just my nostalgia. Oh, back in the day, these teams.
I mean, I get it. We all have our like get off my lawn moments when it comes to like our sports. It's just like, why'd they have to change it? Like Jason's still mad that there's a wild card round in baseball.
You know what I'm mad about? Like seriously, why I don't watch basketball? The playoffs are too long.
Yes, but that goes into the season is way too long.
The season's way too long, but I hate it. I hate the format. I miss it was the best 3 out of 5.
Yeah, the
Like
5-game series for the first round.
Couple games in a row. This whole one game off.
Yeah.
No, not a fan.
Wild card teams, never.
Wild card team. The best plays the best. You can't get in if you're 7 and 9.
But it's kind of funny because I'm half Nigerian, and it kind of shows just how much of a shambles the Nigerian football team is, that they couldn't qualify for this World Cup when it expanded, but Cape Verde did.
I think there's so many racist Nigerian jokes
Oh my god!
that I am suppressing with all of my might.
Yeah, I mean, what 50? What Cape Verde has like 55,000 people. That's like one section of Lagos. That's not even like like.
And Nigeria is historically at least one of the big African football teams. They've won the African Cup of Nations 3 times. Some of the most famous African footballers in history are Nigerians, but they couldn't qualify for this World Cup. And and you know what the irony is of all this? That as much of a shambles the Nigerian football team is, in my lifetime they've still been more successful than England in terms of trophies. Right? I've seen Nigeria win African Cup of Nations in 2013. I've seen them lift the actual trophy once, but I've never seen England.
And you're still waiting for England to do it. Still waiting for it.
Still waiting for it to come home. Still waiting for it to come home.
I mean, my last name is McGinnis, Ralph. So obviously, the Irish roots run deep. And typically, whenever I see the English team compete in anything, it could be fucking curling in the Winter Olympics. I am cheering against them wholeheartedly, just because I've enjoyed having you on the show and I've loved our conversation. I won't be pulling against them so much as I normally do, because I hope in your lifetime you get to see just one trophy lifted. And at this point, I don't even just want it for football. It could be for anything. Just the English team just lifting something above their heads. So when you're on your deathbed, my friend, you won't feel neglected by.
Well, since you're a rugby fan, at least in women's rugby, the England women's rugby team has.
Oh, they've been, they're phenomenal. Where I live, we get a lot of the sevens competitions.
Yeah.
So I've gotten to see the Ferns sevens team play. I watched the Olympic qualifiers, actually, both men's and women's here, which was phenomenal. The field's perfect, for sevens. And this weekend, I'm trying to get to the U.S. against Zimbabwe, the U20 team. I just don't know if I'm going to be able to make it because it's down in Charlotte. That's like a 3-hour drive. You know how it is, man. Sometimes you're like, I can get down there. I'll just sleep in my fucking car. It'll be great. And I'm like, I'm 44. I cannot sleep in my car. I will wake up and not be able to move the next day.
Yeah, it's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. No. Ralph can sleep in his car.
Yeah.
Well, I don't drive.
There you go. Ralph can sleep on a park bench.
Ralph can just go round and round in the train.
Ralph can sleep on a friend's floor in a drunken night of mayhem and just be totally fine the next day.
Yeah, Jason and I are in traction for a week after that night.
He just does this shit. He just wakes up and does this shit. He's like, oh, my neck's a little stiff. Yeah. No, he's fine. He's fine. Totally fine. You're still young enough to do those things, Ralph.
Yeah. Still.
Ralph's like, don't worry, it's Wednesday. I'll be.
Yeah.
I'll be fucking shit up this weekend. Well, what are you working on next, Ralph? You said you had another World Cup piece coming out.
Well, it's in the pipeline from Unheard, but should have been out last week, but it's been delayed because of Keir Starmer resigning, the US 250th anniversary of the American Revolution, and now Nigel Farage is resigned. So,
dude,
so-
that whole Farage thing, Ralph,
Yeah.
that was one of the first things that popped up on my
Yeah.
phone when I got up at 5 a.m. And I was like, what fuckery is this? Like, what is he doing? I mean, keep in mind, just like a few weeks ago, they're like, would you say that you took this big sum of money? Oh, I did. I took this big sum of money. Isn't that a bribe? I mean, it's not a bribe, you know?
Fine bribe.
Because
You know.
wasn't his original story that it was about his security?
Yeah.
There was no strings attached to it. And it's
Yeah. And now
Yeah.
he's losing to like the trash man or some shit, like
Count
exit polling.
Yeah, Count Bin Face. Yeah.
Yeah, Count Binface. Like, if he doesn't pull this off, that is going to be like one of the biggest self-owns of all time.
Mhm.
Like, you lost to a guy named Count Binface, bro. Like, what the fuck?
I think that speaks to the moment that we're in right now.
It really does. Like, I want Count Binface to come just like to have an American cousin, like Congressman Trash Can Man, and he runs against the next Republican. Like, he just throws himself hat in the ring for the presidential election in 2030, and he pulls it off. You know?
Virtuoso says, "Can we get a round of applause for Nigel Farage resigning?" Hell yeah, we can. Oh yeah.
Hey, careful dropping that sound bite on him, because he'll throw that word right back at you.
No, nigga, I'm coming for you. Felt good to say.
Now, where's my money?
He just leveled up every time he says it out loud in front of
Yeah.
people. He just gets more power. It's like when you're playing a video game and you start punching back and you get a little bit more. Don't let Tommy Robinson or Nigel Farage say the N-word out loud. They'll just become more and more powerful, like the
Yeah.
Redheads.
Yeah, it's just Farage like rips through his suit and he just says it again.
but have you heard of Rupert Lowe?
Oh God,
So-
this is another guy I need to hear of from UK politics. This is gonna be great.
He's to the right of Nigel Farage in things. Farage is
Too woke.
yeah, I guess you could put it like that. He leads this party called Restore, which is an offshoot of Reform, because Rupert Lowe was once part of Farage's Reform Party, but they had a falling out. And then he got kicked out because Farage found him too extreme. And then he found this Restore party, and all the like ethno-nationalists support Rupert Lowe. So like Carl Benjamin, Sargon of Akkad, the Lotus Eaters, they all support Rupert Lowe. And Rupert Lowe actually has a connection to football because he was a failed football chairman of Southampton Football Club back in the day, like 20 years ago.
Ralph, is that the plumber guy?
Plumber guy.
The guy you're talking about, Ralph, whatever, or not about the other
Ralph
dude.
Wiggum?
Yeah,
Not
Rupert
Ralph
Lowe.
Rupert Lowe. Isn't he the plumber that was like?
No, he's a farm. He cosplays as a farmer.
Okay, but I know there's another guy in Restore, because the Guardian did like the Guardian US did a whole like article on him. But he's like a plumber. I can't remember what constituency he's running for, but he was essentially told he had to drop out because he has like 2 pending like sexual assault charges.
Oh yeah,
And he-
I think yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, but he's like, I'm not doing it. No, I have to be here to protect England from all these outside influences and get back to English shit. And it's like, bro, you are not gonna win this election, dude. You are just, it's not gonna happen.
No, they're not good. At worst, they would be a spoiler for reform. They'll split the
Yeah.
hard right vote in certain seats. That's the best they're gonna do. They're not winning shit.
Yeah. I mean, I appreciate any democracy that has more than two parties because I look at what could be for the United States and the population we have that is forced to be represented by two parties that just are awful. But then you have things like Restore, this, I don't know what you would call it, this zombified version of labor. You can't even really call it labor anymore. Thanks, Tony Blair. It's just, please, when people give the United States shit for our democracy, it makes me feel good when I can just go, have you seen the UK lately? You have Keir Starmer. I know this is bad, but I challenge you to go further and look at it from our perspective. And it's just like, Starmer, shut the fuck up, dude. I have no idea how you ended up prime minister of a country, let alone representing anybody in a local constituency. And I'm just like,
I fell up.
Yeah, I mean, dude, that's essentially what Labor's been doing before it decided to eat its own face with like the Corbyn shit. And then Corbyn and his new party's a shit show. Like, it was all of like 15 minutes old, Jason. It had already split and they started arguing over who was in charge. Like, it's just insane to me, man.
One of the commenters mentioned Simon Jordan. And it's like, because he's another one of these like failed football chairmen who become right-wing pundits on the British television. And
there's a pipeline.
Yeah, I guess in a sense, yeah. And obviously he also talks football and boxing on like TalkSport and stuff like that. But he has now a show with Piers Morgan and John Terry. And it's like that. And it's like that is the troika of doom. Piers Morgan, John Terry, and Simon Jordan talking about the World Cup and all things related to football.
I'm surprised a hard R hasn't been dropped on air yet. In history.
Yeah, especially from JT. John.
Yeah,
there's just assistants behind him with cattle prods to. Maybe if we got rid of the immigrants.
And John Terry is actually a supporter of Rupert Lowe, by the way. John Terry.
I think I saw that guy. He was on recently on Piers Morgan's show. Oh God, who was on there? Was it Brianna Joy Gray was on there? And he was on there? Yeah, it was a bunch of God. I just saw a clip and then I left.
You know what? I'm good. I don't even want to see a clip of that shit. Like I am. That's just too much for me to want to deal with in one sitting. God, anytime you get Piers Morgan, like the fact that it's like Morgan and Terry together, and then you bring in the third guy, it's just like, like you said, he talks about like football and boxing. I could just see him. When boxing was better. When there were no, like, Jason's like, middleweight divisions.
Unfortunately, John Terry, because he's a Chelsea legend, and Chelsea have this reputation of being the racist club. Yeah, like the
there's Newry.
They have that reputation of being a very scummy kind of racist club, which is ironic because they also Chelsea have a history of having a lot of black African players like Drogba, Essien, and so on and so forth. So that's always one of the ironies about Chelsea.
So what you're saying is Chelsea is just like Boston here, right?
In a sense, yes.
They're you get the fans that are like, netted 2 for us today, and then the following week when they lose, it's just again the interns going around with cattle prods to make sure nobody's saying anything ignorant on live television.
Yeah. Yeah, Chelsea. They're a scummy club. Like, and they were part of Abramovich.
Yeah.
We know what happened there.
Yeah. I mean, and the thing is, it's like I write heavily about and research heavily about like the financial aspects of sport. And when I read a book on the formation of the EPL, right? So naturally I'm like, I have to go look at all these teams. I have to. And then when you get to Chelsea, it's like Roman Abramovich buys it. Oh, well, that's interesting. Well, he lost control of the club for having shady, business ventures. Oh, fuck. And then, it's just like one series of calamity after the next. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, man. The EPL has been full of just really odd ownership and ownership groups. Hey, Jason.
Yep. Sorry. I'm you know what, Ralph, it's Jesus.
Yeah,
it's super late where Ralph is. Ralph, thank you for hanging out with us. We're going to
sorry we lost you in this way, Ralph, but it was phenomenal having you on. And maybe we can get him on some other time when it's not 4 a.m.
I didn't, honestly, I was just going to talk about the article and then let it go. And I messaged him. I said, because it was behind a paywall. I said, hey, can you send me the PDF? And he did, no problem. And he said, I would love to join if it's okay with you. And I was like, of course it'd be okay with us. You're the homie, Ralph. I think Ralph's having technical difficulties as usual. Ralph, can you hear us?
Yes, I'm here.
All right.
Well, go ahead and go to sleep. And thank you for hanging out with us.
Yeah, definitely, Ralph, man. And maybe, like I was saying to Jason, we can get you on at a more amenable time for you.
Okay.
Yeah,
that'll be good.
Have a good night, Ralph.
All right. Thank you.
Peace out. That's Ralph Leonard, journalist. Mac.
And everybody, we're off the tracks point at Beyond the Red Zone. I think we had a great, Nuri said I was an idiot just once this time, so I'll take that. We had some good football talk. Just know, guys, we're getting ready to hit that point of our sporting year where we're going to jump from the World Cup into college football to see the shit show of the season. I think it's going to be, with the new college football season. Jason, get ready to hit the applause. We're seeing the rebirth of the Pac-12.
Fuck yeah.
All right. We're going to see Sacramento State's first year in the Mid-American Conference. We're going to see, I don't know about you, Jason, before we get into the antics. Nuri, I was only fucking with you, dude. I take our back and forth as a goofy little thing we do because you know a lot more about soccer than I do. And if we were together, I'm going to take your points because you do know the sport better than me. But see, since I'm a co-host on this show and you're just a dickhead in the chat, I get to pretend I'm better than you while we're on air.
This is the only chance I got because you're a homeowner.
Yeah. Duh. You have a yard. Okay.
You have a wife and a child that comes and sees you on fucking holidays. This is all I have to feel good about myself.
Yeah, bro. But I don't know about you, Jason. I think even with all the shit going on Capitol Hill, right? With the Save College Sports Act, and with all this, the NCAA still being an ineffective arbiter for the sport, I think in the next couple of years, we get to that Super League everybody's been terrified of.
We'll see. I think the problem, and I've been saying this for a while, I think the problem is the pundit class really loves shitting on, especially when it comes to football, lower tiered bowl games and championship games, as there's a winner take all ethos now that didn't exist before. Before it was get to a bowl game and then you can keep your job for a long time.
Yeah,
that's another reason why we don't see coaches last a long time. because the
Or-
expectations are so high.
Or when they do, you have what I call the Urban Meyer career path.
Mm,
2 years at one school,
mhm,
4 years at your next, 6 years at your next, 6 years, you know, like
mhm,
it's you're a merc. You
Mhm.
constantly job hop, right? And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, right? I won't. Like Meyer, as much as I disliked him for his last probably 3 years at Ohio State, you know, he started at Bowling Green and Utah before, you know, we're talking Mountain West Utah, not,
Yeah. Very
know,
different Utah.
yeah, very different Utah team, right? Like he set the he planted the seeds for Kyle Whittingham to take Utah big, you know.
I think he had Alex Smith. And I think Alex Smith was there the last year, or was he there first year of Pac-12? I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I think we're a year or two off, because remember the year that they went to the BCS Bowl with Alex Smith. Smith was a senior and he went into the draft after.
Yeah, I do remember that.
And I think that was
the Mountain West.
they were still Mountain West, yeah.
Okay.
But you know, it's just, and I get what you're saying, like, you know, it's just the way the financials are now, right? With the supposed cap that the big teams have already found ways to circumvent.
Yeah.
And the NCAA,
Which wasn't going to take long.
Yeah. And the way the NCAA refuses to really do anything, even under new leadership, you know, like, I just think it's only a matter of time, especially with the Save College Sports Act. Literally, one of the provisions is realignment is done. There can be no more realignment.
Is that a good or bad thing? I don't know. I'm just tired of it. I'm not the biggest.
I mean,
fan.
I'm not the biggest fan either, but when TV footprint is what matters,
Yeah.
you know, when payouts to schools are what matters, do you really think teams like Florida State and Clemson, UNC, Virginia, you know, like, they're not going to want to stay in the ACC where they're making $40 million less per year than fucking Purdue? Like, come on, you know. Sorry if there's any Purdue fans out there. Okay, you're not good anymore. Teller's
Big
gone.
Jim Everett guys.
Yeah. You know,
Big
Drew Brees was
fan.
great. He was phenomenal 20 something years ago.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, I just think it's only a matter of time before, like, the SEC and the Big Ten kind of circle the wagons, because a lot of these things in the Safe College Sports Act are directed right at them. Right? Like, they're just like, you know, essentially Ted Cruz said Big Ten and the SEC fuck the rest of college sports. And they were over here like, what the fuck did I do to you, man? You know, like, and I think, you know, because of the sheer amount of money that they're already generating on top of the private equity that is going to eventually happen. Again, I tip my hat to USC and Michigan for keeping it out of the Big Ten for now. But, you know, it's only a matter of time. And I think when that happens, we'll probably see that Super League, because there's going to be a private equity, you know, some revenue generating product and group that says, hey, you guys would make X amount of money if you pooled your TV deals, made one big league, and then we did our own thing away from the NCAA completely. You know, so
trying to decouple the sports from the school, which I wouldn't be surprised if that's the end goal, but I don't know how that would happen, because there's just so much of an attachment from the sports to the school.
I mean, especially in the United States, right? Like, where did football really start to pick up steam? At the college level. You know, college, until the 1950s, college players were the celebrities. It wasn't the professionals. If you played professional football in 1938, you got looked at like you did something wrong with your life. You know, like, that's the truth. You could even extend that out for professional basketball players until probably the 70s. You know, and it's just,
there's a great documentary on the ABA that I just watched. Have you seen it?
The one that Common did?
Did Common do it?
Common did one that's on Prime.
Yeah, and it's Common's.
I may or may not have watched that legally.
Does that mean you watched it with contraband, or you just stole?
Both. I plead the fifth. I will not incriminate myself.
Jesus.
You know, but yeah, I thought that one was really good. You know, I love the one that they had on ESPN did on the ABA was phenomenal. You know, because they did it 15 years ago when a lot of the players were still alive that actually played in it. So you had a lot more player interviews, which I thought was great because they talked about like all the really weird personalities that were involved in the league.
There was that Will Ferrell movie that he loosely based on an ABA
Yes.
team. What was it called?
I can't remember, but
I know the team was called the Detroit Tropics or something.
No, the Flint Tropics.
Flint Tropics. Sorry. Was it? But it wasn't called the Tropics. It was called something else.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was called. Was it called Semi-Pro?
Yes. Thank you. Semi-Pro. Yes.
But it was that I fucking love that movie.
No, there was some hilariously cute things in that movie.
Yes, and like the player getting traded for the washing machine that actually happened. That actually happened.
Really?
Yeah, I have a book. It's about 400 pages. I picked it up on like a Sunday, and I didn't set it down, because they interviewed the players, they interviewed the coaches, and at the end, because it was like kind of done year by year, they put down all like the leading like the leaders and statistics for like every season, you know. But it was so good. It was written by Terry Pluto, who's a Cleveland sports writer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but he wrote it and it was phenomenal. But yeah, for a lot of teams that played in like smaller markets or they played in larger ones that just didn't have the money to really support them, they didn't have a lot of the support systems. So yeah, a player got traded for a washing machine because one team gave away so many of the basketballs because, you know, the red, white, and blue ball was a novelty essentially. They would give them out to kids so much, not realizing these are their game balls for the year. They had to trade a player for like game balls. And I think I saw one where it was actually the Carolina Cougars, which bounced between Charlotte, Raleigh, and Greensboro. They got locked out of the Greensboro Coliseum because they couldn't pay the rent. Everybody bought tickets, and the team literally had the league pay for some buses to load like 200 fans up into them. And they had to drive to Raleigh and play in a high school gym in Raleigh.
Damn.
Yeah, that's how horrible the team was funded. And you know who one of the stars in that team was? Larry Brown.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's where he got his.
He coached in the ABA too, or no? He just played.
Yes, he did. No, he played the first.
He
played the first 4 years, and his knees were so bad that he couldn't play anymore. So they were like, "Fuck it, you want to coach?" And he was like, "Yeah, I'll coach." And then, I mean, he only coached for like another 11 billion years after that.
Yeah.
You know, and he's the Larry Brown we all know and love now, or just know. There's a lot of people that hate Larry Brown.
We know him. He seems kind of detestable in the documentary. There's.
Well, I mean,
I can
dude,
see why he wasn't a player's coach, quote unquote.
Yeah, he said that he got so much shit from Dean Smith because he played at Carolina, and he was, dude, he's only like 5'9", like he was like a tiny point guard even at the standards of the day. And he's like, Dean Smith gave me so much shit. He's like, I knew I had to be an asshole to succeed in this sport. And like when he says that, I'm like, not every, like Spud Webb seems like a very likable man, and he's even shorter than you.
There's a lot of likable short people there.
Yeah, but I mean, he is one of, I think, of only 2 coaches that have won an NCAA championship and an NBA title.
Did he win one with? Who did he win with?
He won an NCAA title with Kansas.
No, who did he win an NBA title with?
The Pistons.
In 90 what?
No.
Oh, in the 2000s.
Yeah.
Forgot about those teams. Just how can I forget about those Pistons teams? I'm so sorry to
fucking
Red Dogra.
Chauncey Billups, Ben Wallace. Like, come on, man.
Sorry, Red Dogra. He's like, you're shitting all over my life.
Yeah. Red's
I
just
won't
gonna
shit on, I promise not to shit on your life ever again.
Red's gonna shit in a box and just send it like Jason Miles, courtesy Rosarito, Mexico, and it's just gonna go like to the mayor's place. Like
He
what the
keeps
fuck?
saying, I have these baseball cards I want to send you, and I think I know what those baseball cards are going to be covered
It's
in
just
now,
gonna
so
be
I'm
a
so
giant
sorry.
giant pile of shit.
That's the Pistons team that Ben Wallace pissed off Ron Artest, and they had the Malice in the Palace.
No, Malice in the Palace. I thought it was wasn't it?
Yeah.
But was Ben involved in that one?
Yep. He's the one that he fouled Artest. Artest pissed him off. He fouled Artest, and that's when Artest sat on the scorer's table, and the dude threw the water on him, and
Yeah. See, oh yep, that's right, Claw. Rasheed Wallace was on that Detroit team.
Newbie said Burgess. my favorite scene from that whole situation is the guy that sat next to the guy that threw the water, and when he's like laughing, and then he sees Jermaine O'Neal and Steven Jackson,
Oh,
and his face just changes to utter fear as they beat the shit out of his buddy. That makes me laugh every time.
I
Every
mean,
fucking time.
yeah. Wow, dude. Yeah, fucking Tayshaun Prince and Rip Hamilton were on that team. God damn, right?
Yeah, no, those were good. Look, Red, again, I am sorry. I'm making it up to Red, by the way, Mac, as I was walking in the beautiful flea market of Rosarito a couple weeks ago, when Derek Varn was down here. Somebody was selling a Detroit Tigers throwback jacket. Hella
Like the
sick.
old manager's jackets that they would
The
always
old
wear.
manager's jacket with the collar and shit.
Yeah, the puffy. It's like super puffed up.
It wasn't. I gotta show. I'll show you a picture.
Okay.
And I was
Whenever.
oh, you know what? Hold on.
Okay. I'm interested to see this because, like, whenever I think of a Detroit manager in a jacket, I just think of Jim Leland putting out a smoke while he's giving the starter
This
the
was
pull.
cool. And so I went over and I asked the person selling it how much they were selling it for, and it was like $5. And I was like, I should get this for someone.
Oh, bro, yeah. Oh,
This is kind of sick, right?
that is, dude. Jason, again, can you see? Can you in your mind's eye? Can you see like Jim Leland? Like, oh shit, he gave up another single.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw this and I was like, oh, this is dope. And then I was like, oh, you know what? Instead of wearing it myself and jinxing the Giants even more, maybe.
I don't think you're technically in charge of that jinx. I think it's more that's Buster Posey at this point.
I don't know if Buster. I looked longingly at a brown Padres throwback jersey, and I think that was enough to derail the season. So I apologize on behalf of all Giants fans. It is because and Mac, I touched it.
Oh yeah, there might. You know what? Again, I'm going to go ahead and say this season we are seeing the culmination of probably 20 out of the 30 teams' inability to develop starting pitching, as well as players who can make contact. Like you're seeing a lot of young guys come up, immediately can mash 25, 30, 35 home runs, strikeout rates in the 30s, 30%. You can't have that, man. Like the hitting is getting so bad. It should offset by being like, okay, this is a pitcher's league now, right? Like the pitchers should be killing it. They're not. It's bad too. And it's
you can't hope that Japan gives you all your talent.
Yeah, like
Japan and Korea. Yeah.
So it's like It's only going to get worse if the owners in baseball are able to get what they want in this new CBA, which is going to be no more high school players get drafted. They have to spend 2 years in college.
Yeah.
And they're talking about cutting single A baseball.
Yeah.
So instead of 4 levels of AAA, there'd only be 3: A, AA, AAA. That's it. Right?
Using
Like
college as the developmental league.
which, like we were talking about last week, we saw it in the College World Series. These coaches are not developing players. What they're trying to do is squeeze everything they can out of them just so they can win. Again, recurring problem in American
It's
sports.
a different way you handle your capitalism, right? If you're handling your capitalism like, okay, it's not about development, it's about winning, because winning is going to get me the players and the dollar amount, and I'm going to get them good already because there's already a development league within the suburbs or South America, wherever they're coming from, opposed to what we were hearing before about European soccer, for example, where it's about developing players that you can then sell.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if
It's bad all
selling the
around.
player becomes a thing,
Yeah.
which sounds, there's going to be somebody that's like, sounds like slavery. It's like, yeah, it does. But
Yeah.
selling the player becomes the model, then that's the move forward.
Yeah. I mean, it's just you're going to have worse development by relying on college to do your early development.
Yeah.
And then sliding like a 19, 20-year-old kid directly into single A ball, right? You typically have kids that are like between 20 and 22 in single A.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're seeing less time spent at AAA and AA because a lot of these kids, they just need time to, one, get acclimated. If they're coming from college, they need to get acclimated to wooden bats. That's always a huge hump with collegiate position players. Because I'm going to tell you right now, there's a summer wooden bat league team where the team plays right down the street from my house, and they play on like little league fields. But these guys cannot swing a wooden bat. They can't get it around because they are much heavier than aluminum bats. Like people don't know this, but aluminum bats, a lot of people don't know this, but aluminum bats are hollow, right? It's got a plastic fucking core, and you could just whip that shit around. Like you could have one arm, you're going yard with an aluminum bat if you can get, but wooden bats, man, you got to be able to get that shit around, and a lot of college players struggle with that.
They're not going to invest in wooden bats because they're going to break.
Yeah. I mean, and on top of that, when you look at, the College World Series, one of the main sponsors is Easton and Mizuno, which are the two big makers of aluminum bats, it's just,
and
I don't want to
mitts.
Yeah. I don't want to see any more minor league teams go away because we already lost 40 of them. We lose another 30, that really does affect the towns, that these are in. Because you know what they're not going to cut? They're not going to cut any team owned by Diamond Baseball Holdings. They're going to cut the teams owned by, individuals. And what they'll do is they'll be like, okay, well, Diamond Baseball Holding, you own, I'm just going off the top of my head, like say they own 3 low A teams. They'll just bump them up to fucking A, shift a couple high A teams to AA and make it work, while the private ownership groups lose their fucking teams. It's bullshit, man. And honestly, Kush, I mean, I could see Detroit going after KD. I don't know how that works with the young talent. Kevin Durant kind of expects a certain amount of deference in an offense at this point. I think the Pistons still need, just like every other team in the NBA, they need a 3-and-D guy. They need to have somebody that could really spell Cunningham and who's the other young guard? Shit. I can't remember his name. Ruddle, let me know. I know it. To give them a couple, minutes of bench time to recover. But I mean, I don't see that as a bad addition. Do you, Jason? Like KD to the Pistons?
Is that what picks you over the hump?
I mean, I really think it could in the
Or does
East.
that just put a few more butts in the seats?
It'll probably do both. I mean, because we're seeing the shift now. Remember, we saw like the East was the power conference, and then it went west
Yeah.
for quite a while,
Yeah.
and now it's shifting back east.
Slowly back, yeah.
You know,
Some of these
and
West teams feel a little old.
well, that's why it's shifting, right? Because those power teams are aging out.
Like LeBron to the Warriors is what people want. It's like, do you really want to see all these old guys play? Remember when the Lakers did that with Karl Malone and Gary Payton?
Yeah, that court had an overwhelming stench of Ben Gay and fucking icy hot.
Like, sometimes it doesn't work that way for the last hurrah for some of those guys to win a chip. And I don't know. I mean, basketball is a sport almost like baseball where you can play into your 40s.
Yeah.
But at what level? And I don't know. Do you think LeBron's playing at like a Tom Brady level in his 40s?
No. And the thing is, I don't think he wants to. Like, he took a big step back behind Austin Reeves and Luka at the end of the regular season. He didn't put his like I'm the man hat back on until Luka and Austin Reeves were injured, like going into the playoffs. And LeBron at 80% can still get you a first round win over Houston and get you into the second round, right? Like I have on my like I'd love to see LeBron come back. Fuck, send that second round pick out to LA, get Bronny, draft Bryce next year, have a whole fucking James family reunion for a year or two, and then LeBron rides off in the sunset, you know?
Wouldn't it be horrible if your kids were just mediocre?
Well, the thing is, Bronny, his game, if he were 5 inches taller, he would be a guy that plays 15 years. He'd be a 3-and-D guy. You know what I mean? Like, he plays good defense. He's a small dude. Bryce, on the other hand, the younger son, is actually a good basketball player, right? Like, every scouting service was like, dude, Bryce is a lot better than Bronny. Like, I mean,
it's like the balls.
Hold on, Dog or Red. Newry asked about the Jalen trade. Philly robbed Boston blind. I don't know what went into the thinking that moving Jalen for that.
You've seen the things on the owner of
the
Celtics, and it's not about making the team better or some sort of strategic move.
This
is just cost cutting.
Yeah,
and it has nothing to do with Jaylen Brown thinking he's smart either.
I mean, dude, let's face it, Jaylen Brown is a smart dude. But Jaylen Brown also is a very competitive guy, right?
Yeah.
He's super competitive.
Sure.
And we can sit here and say, well, he's not as good as Jason Tatum. Well, he did keep the Celtics afloat while Tatum was recovering from a torn Achilles, right? Like, I think Jaylen Brown, maybe he's not a top 10 guy. I'd put him top 15.
He's an extremely good player. I don't believe that he got moved because he thinks he's smarter than everybody.
No.
I did watch a video where he brought that up and he said, which I thought was hilarious, and I don't disagree. He goes, first of all, it's a really low bar.
Yeah. But no, Jason hit the nail on the head. The Celtics ownership, the Celtics were just sold. And they have a front man. Okay. But he didn't have the access to capital to purchase the Celtics outright. So what did he do, everybody? Say it with me. Private equity. Yep. That's where he got his money. So although it's in his name, although he's the governor of the team, the private equity corporation actually owns a majority of the Celtics, which goes against NBA bylaws because by rule, private equity cannot own more than 10% of a team. So when you see private equity buy into things, we all know how that goes. We strip it down for parts. We make it as lean as possible in the business parlance. We don't exactly have to improve it. I mean, look at the Fenway Sports Group and what they've done with the Red Sox and the Penguins.
Make it competitive enough that people still show up and raise ticket prices, and you're fine.
cut the scouting department, cut strength and conditioning. You know, it's what they do.
It's the new model, and we'll see how long people like it, because it's also one of those things where the movie that I watched today for the show tomorrow is about a guy that's kind of obsessed with right-wing influencer culture.
Oh,
and
gross.
it's like driving. Yeah, it's a anyway, it's a character study.
Yeah.
But what I found interesting was like never in this drive, he's driving from, I think, Wisconsin through Canada.
Gross.
Never does he listen to music. There's like maybe one scene in the whole movie where he doesn't have influencer shit playing.
Oh.
And it's make believe influencer stuff. It's you know, people off camera talking. But what I found interesting was like for a lot of people that is the way they just consume stuff, because music is just nothing to them. It doesn't really hold the same place. And I say all that to say, at what point does sports get that same way when you keep kind of stripping it down to the copper wire where it becomes like not fun for people to watch anymore?
Mm-hmm.
That they pivot to what is actually exciting and that possesses the thing that they want, which is politics. Like right now, you can root and cheer and yell at your friends at a bar.
Yeah.
Politics.
But I was reading an article by Nathan Coleman Lamb. He's a professor in Canada, but he does a great podcast called The End of Sport.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a leftist as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and he brought up a good point that how Americans are being priced out of like football, baseball, basketball, hockey. What have we seen since that started happening? The growth of soccer, right? So people getting priced out of our four main ones has kind of led us to getting into this other sport, right? That maybe, you know, it was popular in pockets, but now we're seeing this huge growth nationally. You know, and with the USL and the MLS, there's a lot of places where you can go watch a professional game and not have to like sacrifice a child to do so. You know,
I saw people watching a professional cornhole match.
Yes, I've seen that as well.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't like it at all.
Okay, so it's not just me.
No. You could literally just decide to go grab a 250 Miller Lite, and you can watch two guys just right there,
like
playing cornhole.
And some of the quote sports, right? Slap fighting.
Dude, it's all shit that would be on ESPN 8, the Ocho.
The ESPN 8,
right?
The Ocho. Yeah, totally. This is totally Ocho sports time.
Welcome to, folded airplane racing, brought to you by ESPN 8, the Ocho.
Hot dog eating.
Yeah.
You know what's going to come back, I think? Strongman. And now you have a huge influx of people getting their pro cards for bodybuilding.
Yeah.
So there's things that are coming back that people are getting competitive in, that people are actually watching and following, and there's influencers and personalities in these cultures that are treating it almost like pro wrestling. You have like the steroids guys.
Dude, look at CrossFit. Case in point.
CrossFit. Ooh, that's a good point. Yeah.
Right? Like we're talking about like the right wing pipeline shoots right into MMA and CrossFit. And what is ESPN show? A lot of the CrossFit games, and it's just like, yes, cornhole does sound like something.
But I mean, actually, that's goofy shit you play when you're tailgating with your friends, and some guy has got cornhole, and you throw the little bag into the hole.
Yeah,
I saw a guy with a jersey on, and then the announcer's like, "He's got to make this shot. It's for all the marbles."
Well, dude, it's just like disc golf, right? Like I used to get high and play that. And it's the same shit now. Like you got people in like sponsored jerseys and their discs have like a corporate sponsor on it, and it's just like, bro, whatever happened to only having like 3 discs, but you've got a bag of joints and you just light up on the first hole and you just
In my
Let it
head
go,
now,
man.
I just see Mac with a tam on, Bob Marley in the background, him and his buddies.
I mean, there was probably ska music on in the background, for being
Just
honest.
fucking disc golf. This is, it's not even disc golf. It's professional cornhole.
Yeah.
Like, you look at that, you're like, I don't know where we're going.
Dude,
I
I have
don't
no
know
idea.
where
I have no idea either, right? Because like I was telling Ralph, like our professional rugby league in the United States is cratering. 2 years ago, it had 14 teams. This past season, they had 7. Right. And a lot of the ownership groups are like, it's a money pit. There were problems with the league office. Right. And rugby is kind of filling that hole that soccer held, like, right. Played by mostly affluent people on the coasts, populated areas. Eventually, these betting apps are going to allow us to bet on the Scripps National Spelling Bee. I guarantee you on Kalshi, you could already do that, Virtuoso. I'd fucking bet on it. Yeah, see, right, Kush? It's fucking a lot of fun when you're a little stoned, man. You know, but like, we keep talking about, you know, value, and you know, I wish Tony was here because we get to read his diatribe about value, right? But we talk, especially in this country, what is the value? Like, you know, how much do we value these things? Well, like if you grew up in a town like with you, Jason, you know, you're from fucking Richmond, you San Francisco's your team, you know, like this was part of your formative upbringing was the Giants and Will Smith and, you know, Dave Draveck, thank you, Will Clark, and, you know, Dravecki's arm almost flying off when he made that pitch. You know, like you had all these greats. Well, what happens when you value somebody out of the ability to go to a fucking game?
Yeah.
And we just turned it into spectacle, you know? There's Tony. I knew I'd see him. I said the magic word, value. But, you know, like, that's what they're doing. They are turning it into a spectacle where only affluent people can go. Right. So what does that leave for us? More local teams. So that means minor league baseball. Oh, you're taking that away? Cool. All right. Well, MLS is getting big. The tickets aren't too bad. Hey, Mac, Charlotte FC is just down the road. Sweet. How much is a ticket? $79. Holy fuck. At the very top of Bank of America Stadium? Ugh. You know, so it's just like, I started going to the National Women's Soccer League because the Carolina Courage are actually a very good team. I could get tickets for $15. They just had a huge new owner come in, Jason, and guess how much tickets are now?
Don't say they raised the prices.
26, right?
Yeah.
And it's just like,
but that's the thing. There's nothing left for you to engage in. And so you can work on being a better you. But there's something isolating about also being locked out of a communal space like a sporting event. Again, being in Tijuana, it was probably, I feel conservatively, maybe a little over 100,000 people that were in the area that we were in, the main street, right? And we were in a bar that you just couldn't get in. At a certain point, they closed the doors. People broke the barricades with the police there, mind you.
Mother, even like even in Mexico, where they're like fire code, they're like, okay, guys, too many people.
Yeah, no, it was. they were like, close the door now, and they closed the door. All jokes aside, they had made a viewing area that people had to wait in line for.
Yeah,
and the viewing area, Mac, I'm not trying to be funny, maybe had a couple hundred seats. So the line for the viewing area was down the street as far, like damn near to the fucking border. And I'm not even over exaggerating.
Oh, dude, no, I believe it. I mean, when you look, when you saw some of the other watch parties, like that they would show them like in, hey, here's the watch party from Sarajevo. And you have like 11 billion Bosnians just like with binoculars looking,
Dude, it was crazy. And you're watching this game and the way the place is built, a lot of places have metal doors that come down at night because they don't really have
Mhm.
windows in the places.
Yeah.
And this was one of those places. So, we're watching the game and there's no one there. And then all of a sudden, me and Alex turn around and there's hundreds of people that couldn't get in, just watching it on the screens that are up in the bar we're in.
Yeah.
And they score a goal, everybody's high-fiving. And so there's a thing when Mexico scores, they would walk around and give everybody a shot. They pour a shot in your mouth. And so people outside are cheering, and the bar and the waiters and waitresses were just pouring shots in the people's mouths of the people outside as well. There's people just running up and getting all these shots. So there's this, it's a cool communal vibe. We actually met a dude that was outside that, asked us to buy him a drink while he was watching the game and chatted it up with that cat and some other people there. So to ice people out of that kind of, I hate to say it again, community environment gets you trapped in your world of you more. And in the world of you, if you're not really into sports, there's definitely some horrible shit that you can listen to endlessly.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, dude, one of the most celebrated deaths in the past year was a fucking podcaster.
Charlie, yeah.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
So much acrimony and heart-wrenching from that. And it's like, are we really crying this much over a guy who had a podcast?
A hate monger with a podcast.
Right.
I have to show you this thing because it does revolve around college. I have to show you this thing. I'll show you two things, and they're all the same thing. So this man was a guest on a show, and I don't think I've ever shown you this. Maybe we have seen it, but it's been a while. But this video has popped up in my feed, and I can't stop laughing. So people have been making little videos based off this dude's podcast appearance. I have to show you this video because this is pretty funny.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. I got in! Mom, Dad, I got in.
Congrats. Where'd you get in?
Harvard.
A big college. A big college in Jacksonville.
Jacksonville. Wow. Exotic.
Whoa. Did you read this? Dude, you got a full ride. A scholarship.
A scholarship, honey.
We at Big College in Jacksonville are thrilled to offer you 15 something, like 10 million, 5 million, something like that.
Wait. But not $5 million. They're offering you $5 million to play the drums?
Is it a scholarship?
What the fuck are we doing here?
It says I gotta go to school for like this decade.
We are so proud of you.
Just so younger. I don't know what it is. 15, some like 10 million, 5 million, some shit like that. To play the drums.
It says I gotta go to school for like this decade.
We are so proud of you.
What the heck was that?
He didn't tell you.
Tell me what?
He turned it down.
He what?
He turned it down.
He turned it down?
Yes.
Oh. Why? To do what?
To do this. To grind from rap.
So that thing you just watched, and I know you guys are going, what is this about, Jay? I don't understand it. That is, how it says it's based on a true story. This dude gave an interview.
Jason,
Where?
but he He turned it down.
He turned it down. He
He
lies
turned
in
it
this
down.
interview, and he realizes he's lying, and he tries to fix the lie. Doesn't make it better. I've never seen a person dig the ditch, and someone tries to get him a rope out, and they're like, "No, that's fine. I'm going to dig my way out. I'm going to dig all the way down. I'm going to come out the other side."
Oh, okay.
Where'd you go to college?
I ain't go to college, but I turned it down.
Oh,
Yeah, I turned it down just to do this, just to grind from the rap.
so you had an opportunity to do the drumming
Yeah,
thing.
a
in
scholarship and everything.
college. Where at?
I think it was like in Jacksonville.
Hmm.
Yeah, a big band in Jacksonville. It was a big college though, and they offered me like 15, some shit like 10 million or something like that, 5 million, something like that.
Wait.
A scholarship.
Okay, but not $5 million. They offered you $5 million to play the drum.
Yeah,
What the fuck are we doing here?
like we had to figure out, like you know what I'm saying. But I was so younger, like
Wait.
I didn't know what it was.
Are you sure they offered you $5 million?
I
play
turned it down. It was a scholarship. Like I had to go to school for this decade.
But you would get $5 million?
Yeah, it was somewhere. It was in the millions though.
Where'd you go to college?
I love that. I love, like you said, he was offered a lifeline to just get away from this nonsense. And he was like, nope, hand me the shovel. I'm going deeper. Right. And then we have three white folks that take that entire script
Yes.
and make a very funny skit. And I will be the same. I know it's edited. I would not be able to keep a straight face doing that skit. Like I wouldn't be able to do it. I'd be dying.
His acceptance letter said
Yeah.
Big College Jackson.
Big College Jacksonville. Big College Jacksonville, man.
I watched that skit and I knew what it was, and I started cracking up, and I tried to find this video, and I found it, and then I started getting the video a whole bunch more times. And
Dude, but nothing beats the host going, what the fuck are we doing here?
what the fuck are we doing?
Like Jason,
It's like, dude, nobody to play the drums. You got $15 million to the small
Jason,
college. in
I swear to
Jacksonville?
God, next show we do, you're like, Mac, somebody offered me $75,000 to go back on the road. What the fuck are we doing here, Jason?
What the fuck are we doing? But I got to do it for a decade.
But oh, Jason, I was gonna say I'll come be your manager, but 10 years on the road in a van? No, thank you.
When he said for this decade, you're like, what does that mean? Do you mean like in 2010s, or do you mean
So you mean you have to attend the school for 4 years in this decade? Oh, you mean for a decade?
for a decade? I don't. I just love the host. What the fuck are we doing here?
What are we doing here?
Somebody said that fraternity was Phi Kappa Trap. Like the dude,
Okay, not counting the host here, but can you imagine the producer that's off camera that is like, you know?
yeah, dude, that shit, I couldn't.
No. I was so mad when you sent me that because I wasn't paying attention. Yes. I was like, I cannot believe Jason's algorithm is so fucked. They found like the small town like scare house from bumfuck Egypt, probably Ohio, and it had the human centipede in it. Like,
I saw that. I was like, what a weirdo. Whoever put that together is a fucking weirdo.
yeah, he's probably a big fan of the films.
Fuck that guy. I do not want to hang around a guy that's a big fan of those movies.
Oh, dude, fuck no. I mean, you ever see the human centipede? Get out.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out.
like, dude, it's my favorite. Sorry, brother.
Yeah.
We can't fucking hang, man. If
I
that's
don't
your
know.
favorite fucking movie.
I don't know you. Get the fuck out of here.
No, I'm not hanging with that dude. That dude's a fucking problem.
Yeah.
This guy's a problem.
Bro, put a brassiere on. Come on, man. You can't just be letting can't let your moobs hang out like that.
Your moobs?
Yeah. Your man boobs, your moobs. Caleb, what is up, man? We're in the off the rails portion of the episode, my friend.
This is Mac's new favorite rap group.
No, you sent me this one too.
I'm in my black Benz, doing cocaine with my black friends. We'll be high as hell before the night ends. Oh, we'll be high before the night ends. Before the night ends, switch up to the white Benz, doing codeine with my white friends. We'll be high as hell before the night ends. Yeah, before the night ends. Before the night be, Lord have mercy. I know that these perkies gonna hurt me. Sometimes I
see. The sad thing is, I could see, like, what is the newspaper or the literary magazine at Harvard? It's like the something pudding or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's the improv group. I don't know. I could see it. 2 members of that fucking group did that. You know,
That
like
does feel like that kind of shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Jesus Christ, Jason. You can't have a thick bottom Muppet. That looks like the woman Bert and Ernie would fight over.
What part of Sesame Street does she live on? She's on the south side of Sesame Street.
Bro, she lives at the corner of Elm and Sesame. All right, like that's.
Oh shit!
God, that is just okay. And what is Kulo?
It's ass.
Okay,
It's ass.
that makes sense now. I
saw that and I fell the fuck out, dude.
Oh, so Prairie Fire gave us a super chat. Thank you, Prairie. I talked to Mitch McConnell today. He said the Reaper came for him, but he turned it down. They offered him 10 to 15 million souls or something, but he turned it down.
Oh shit! Did he really write that?
Yes, he did. Yes,
I'm
he
in a
did.
different screen. Did he really write that?
Yes, he did.
Oh my
I read it
God.
word for word off the.
Oh my god! Oh shit!
He turned it down. You know.
Oh my god! Oh, someone else gave a super chat. I didn't see it. Oh, this is for Mac. Did you see Malik Beasley rebound chasing clips?
He was caught working with bookies.
Ooh.
Oh, dude, Beasley's going away.
Like he thinks in prison?
Oh, hell yeah. Bro, they're hitting him. And who was the coach that they just popped? I can't remember his name, but they're hitting them with RICO charges.
Yikes.
They're going away, dude. You really think the federal government is going to proffer RICO charges when they don't have like a fucking, you know, like.
You know who's
they're
not
gonna,
getting RICO charges?
Me and you. Jason, what the fuck is this? Why are there 2 men spinning in their diapers?
Hung by their bums.
What? Dude, your algorithm is fucking
My algorithm
done.
is fucked, dude. My
That is
algorithm
bad.
So fucked.
Like everybody, Jason isn't even looking for this shit anymore. It just pops up on his feed. You know, like Jason's not in the search bar like 2 dudes spinning in their diapers hung by their bums, right? You know, he's not searching for that. It's just coming to him. Okay, everybody. Okay, everybody. This is what we got. We've got actual photographic proof of Pog Chaser MLK. It's Martin Luther King. It looks like he's coming off an aircraft, probably in Hawaii, because there are a bunch of lays on him, and two attractive women on either side of him. One that is white and one that is of Asian descent. It looks like
Hawaiian, yeah.
She might be Hawaiian. Okay.
Some kind. Yeah.
But the caption says, "Nah, he ain't tell us about this part of his journey."
I saw that, and as you can imagine, I put my phone down and started laughing really hard.
Oh, dude, I'm surprised you didn't piss yourself a little when you saw it.
I think a little pee came out.
Little pee? Yeah, that happens. Yeah.
Dude, I couldn't stop laughing.
Prairie said that's Martian Luther King.
So, you know how I don't like the whole, like, someone's being a Karen? Because I always say, look, my mom was the first person I saw talk to the manager, and that's Pam. But this woman is mad at these people for they're like just kind of driving crazy, peeling out, being young, and she's complaining about the way they're driving. And I'll show you.
To go to fucking work, and she almost hits me when I've almost been hit. Just fucking driving home. One of these dumb motherfuckers trying to pull out of here and burn out so somebody can make a video is what it is.
Oh, you're making a good video now.
I had called the cops.
Yeah, keep
and
going.
I figured there would be people around here that would have common fucking sense.
You just said that.
Stupid sons of bitches. Oh.
Well,
she told you so.
She told you. Like, she literally told you.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys are like, man, fuck you. Duh. Okay. And now that happened.
Probably if that person lived, you're looking at some sort of vehicular assault. And if they died, vehicular manslaughter, North Carolina, that carries a mandatory 12-year sentence, I think.
And you recorded yourself doing it on purpose. Oh. The way these young people record their crimes and then double down by lying on camera.
Oh, dude.
I turned it down.
Yeah, I turned it down.
Turned it down.
So one of the salespeople at work is a former DEA guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he likes to come and talk to me because, like, he spent like 4 years in the military before he went DEA. And so he thinks we can commiserate off that. Keep in mind, he was like a pogue-ass pogue. Like, he was like supply and logistics or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
And for pogue, that just means personnel other than grunt. So it's like a derogatory term, but we say it in love, you know? But he's like, yeah, man, when I was DEA, dude, I'm not even kidding. This thing, we have to monitor Instagram accounts. So we get this kid who's always got like a gun in his hand and he's got a bunch of cash in the other, you know? So we're like, all right, what we're going to do is do like they essentially have facial recognition for cash. So they can literally take your video, scan it, and if it meets certain certain criteria, they can determine whether it's real or fake. Right? Within like 70-80% accuracy. So he's like, yeah, man, we run the scan and it's coming back, 80%. The shit's real. Right? So we track him down. He's like, keep in mind, I'm based in Texas. This motherfucker, I kid you not. And this is how he talks, right? I kid you not. He's in Louisville, Kentucky. So I go to my boss. I'm like, hey, we saw this fucking dickhead on Instagram. I want to build a case and go to Kentucky and get him. And I was like, what'd your boss say? He's like, let's go get him. Because if he's got that kind of money, he's into drugs. And I'm like, well, that's not always true, is it? He's like, I'm DEA. Fuck yeah, that's true. You know, like, so he goes, gets like a 4-man team and follows this kid around, right? Like trying to catch him in the act. Didn't even have to. We had these thing called wolfhounds in Afghanistan, little computers in like a tough box, and it can ping cell phones. So you can listen in on the conversations or read the text messages.
Insane.
Okay. So he gets this warrant. He's allowed to use this technology in the United States because it's technically illegal to use unless you get a federal judge to sign the warrant for its use, right? So he's like, yeah, man, I'm sitting at this thing. And you just see blip, blip, blip. Oh, he's just texting everybody. He's texting everybody. And guess what he did? Recorded himself making a drug deal and selling weapons, took video, sent it to all his friends. And I'm like, and you got all the videos? He's like, fuck yeah, I did. He's like, I didn't have to stake this bitch out. I said, pack it up, boys. We went to the hotel. We parked the van. I slept until noon. And I went to his mama's house where he lived and just was like, hey, check this out. And showed him on my phone the videos that he had sent to his old friends. And he's like, wasn't me. And I'm like, well, you have his face and shit, right? He's like, nah. He's like, nah, get this. So you push play and you hear him, the guy that's taking the guns and the money, that was his name was Jamal. He's like, yo, Jamal, man, this piece is real nice. And the kid was like, yo, it's not me. There's like a lot of people named Jamal. And he's like, kid's name was Jamal Mason. Guess what you hear? Jamal Mason. Hey, man, these drugs are so good. You know, or let's go, cause so good. And he's like, the kid was like, yeah, that wasn't me. But you're like, this dude made a drug deal and sold weapons and recorded himself.
Recorded it all.
And sent the video to like 5 people. And
you
do you know
don't
how
have to record every aspect of your life, but
dude, this cat at work told me, you know how long his fucking trial lasted? No bullshit. From swearing in to finished. 13 minutes because of those videos.
Yes, oh yeah, I got a lot of fights. Got a lot of fights for you. Oh, this was fucked up.
Swiping cards and stacking chips. I saw you sinking ships. Let me stand on the.
Listen, guys, we all know Erica Kirk would not be singing this song. She's busy going. She's busy cucking JD Vance's wife right now by sucking his dick in front of her.
I just want to depress you before we go.
Oh, I love that.
The epitome of testing connections. I wanted to be like able to immerse myself in the experience.
You're like a slow roast. You built up the.
I'd say that she's just like a ball of fresh air.
I'm gonna like compromise with you. We're gonna compromise.
Did you know 54% of Americans can't read above a 6th grade level? 28.
The minute he said epitome, Jason, I was like, I am going to like nut check Jason the next time I see him in person. But then you topped it with co-promise.
Yeah.
Or compromise.
I'm gonna compromise. That
all right, Jason, I'll compromise with you. I won't nut tap you. I mean, that's the sad part. People are like, that's a made up statistic. No, it's not.
No, it's not. Bert shared with me some very. I can read you some statistics right now that I was shared. Hold on, give me 1 second. I'm going to read you some stats.
Zahir, that fucking divorce is already in the works. JD is looking to get rid of his wife, send them kids out so he can marry Erica Kirk and have proper, just the pastiest children ever created. JD Vance and Erica Kirk.
Oof.
Yeah.
And Adult literacy scores have also dropped. Nearly 30% of American adults cannot paraphrase or make inferences from a multi-page text. In 2017, that number was less than 20%. Things are about to get worse and fast. The next generation reads much less than today's adults did when they were kids. Kindergarten teachers say that many of their students don't know nursery rhymes or fairy tales. Benjamin Powers, the director of Yale and the University of Connecticut's Haskins Global Literacy Hub, told me, in the study of 236,000 American adults, only 2% read to a child on a given day. From 1984 to 2025, the percentage of 13-year-olds who said they rarely or never read for fun rose from 8 to 29%. Every year older a child gets, the less likely they read. They're less likely they are to read. Sorry, I don't have my glasses on.
Jason's having problems making those references over multiple pages.
Carter was enrolled in the gifted program at Lafayette. Oh, sorry, that's something different. Sorry, that's something different. But yeah,
it's atrocious.
The epitome.
Yeah, this is the epitome of American public education that is severely underfunded.
You said the epitome.
Yeah, the epitome. Just like we compromise, you know. I mean, we have to laugh at it, but when Jason and I end stream, we're just gonna sit. It's gonna be like the Pablo Escobar meme from the show, just sitting there like,
dude. It was just like I sent that to Bert Cooper, who actually does a lot of his job was in education for years. He still has one foot in education a little bit, and you know. Some of the stories he tells me are just horrifying.
Oh, dude, it's when I subbed, I was like, oh my gosh, this is bad because, you know, it's North Carolina. It's a history course in North Carolina and the state curriculum is just ass. So I touched on what I was legally required to, but then I would pull like a 3 or 4 page section from like one of my books that tied into what I legally had to talk about. Right. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, here, guys, I made all the copies for you. What you're going to do is you're going to read these. We're going to talk about them in class tomorrow. And then by, next Tuesday, you're going to write me a 3-page paper. And they're just like looking at it like, what? I'm like, dude, yeah. And then
what?
Yeah. And then one of the students came up to me after class and was like, hey, Mr. Mack, I don't know how to read.
Whoa.
I was like, dude, this is junior year of high school. He's like, yeah, he's like, I had trouble reading when I was younger, and they said I was dyslexic. So literally the state of North Carolina allowed the school system to essentially just show him videos on how to do his work. So he didn't have to, And I was like, bro, I'm sitting there like trying to think of what I could do. And I lucked out because I had access on JSTOR to like certain audiobooks, like the audio version of books. Mm. And so I would just record them, like the excerpts for him. Because I'm like, he still is going to do the work. And which he was like, that's kind of fucked up, Mr. Mack. Like, I don't know how to read or maybe write papers. And I'm like, okay, so you're going to listen to the book and you're going to give me a 5 to 10 minute presentation in lieu of the 3-page paper. And you're just going to send it to my email. So I know that you understood the reading. And he was just like, ugh. Oh, and Tony, here we go. You ready for this one, Jason? Guys, I had a college student at the end of our semester in U.S. history tell me that MLK Jr. was their favorite American president.
Mine too.
I mean, my favorite was Pog Chaser, MLK.
My son, I think I said this before, my son was studying Cesar Chavez like around the time that the scandal came out. Because it was the day, right, in California.
Yeah.
And he was telling me about it. And I said, well, who's Cesar Chavez? He goes, well, he was a slave. And I was like, well, he wasn't. But my son's 7.
Yeah.
Right?
It's like, hey, bud.
Yeah, you're like he wasn't, but I get why he would think that because they only understand slavery when they think about fields and work. It's just like,
and long hours, being yes, I understand.
I understood where he was coming from.
Mm-hmm.
It's a simple correction. It's a correction at 7. In your 18, 19, the college level, it's not it's who failed you. How did you get failed? I don't know if you remember that story a few months back, earlier this year, where a young girl had got into either pen. Yeah, but she got into pen. She couldn't read.
Oh, dear God, how?
Her mom was an immigrant, and her mom couldn't help her. So she used speech to text and AI to do all her reports and everything. Read things to her, like, read it to me. And got into college that way. So, there's a legitimate problem that we have.
Yeah.
That we should address.
Yeah. Like my daughter used to be like knock out 2 to 3 books a week. And like when she turned 14, that immediately stopped.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, kid, like, that's not a good thing, And I was like, I understand you have you're growing up, you're branching out, you've got other interests, but reading's important. Like your brain's a muscle, you got to flex it, and that's doing crossword puzzles and logic problems and reading. And then she gives me the most ferocious burn of all time. And she's like, how many books a week do you read? And I said, well, 1. And I knock out like an audiobook a week. And she's like, and how's that working out for you? And I was like,
damn.
Oh,
it's like I didn't know I had to win a prize.
Yeah.
To read a book. Like the whole thing is people are asking the question, right? Reading for pleasure. And that's difficult because we have so many distractions. So how do you sit there and another professor friend posted on social media that they had a student that said they could not read 1 book for the class because they didn't, like, I just can't do it. Like I can't sit here and read a book. It's too much. So I go to ChatGPT and have it explain it to me. And they're like, but you're missing so much context. That's why you don't understand these questions, blah, blah, blah. And that's for school purposes. But reading for pleasure is just, for a lot of people, it's done.
Yeah. Yeah. It might just be because like where my interests lie, like in the historical research, the journalistic research part of stuff. Like I love that. That is the best part of doing all that, is the research. The writing, I'd like to say I'm a pretty good writer, but I struggle with it. Like, making sure it's concise enough for people to understand. It's not like overburdened with information. I had a lot of difficulties with that when I was in school, because they'd be like, hey, it's a 10-page paper and you wrote 25. And I'm like, well, I had like 20 sources. They're like, you read 20 books? I read about 15 of them. And they're like, what the fuck is wrong with you, dude? Get a life. It's like, bro,
I'm fucking learning.
Yeah. I just want to learn stuff.
You're a voracious reader. Just get on my fucking face.
But like I've made a really, when I got back in the gym, started running and shit, I was like, less TV time, like less gaming. I'm going to at least get 15 pages of reading done every night. Reading groups help with that a lot because, I got to keep up with everybody. And Zahir, the fucking harsh taskmaster he is, because we picked his book for the next one. He's like, yeah, each section's just 50 pages. Oh, fuck you, dude.
50 dense pages.
Well, I mean, no, it's a man's letters from being locked up. And it's been phenomenal so far. I'm about 28 pages in Zahir, so I'll have it ready for tomorrow. But like I've made like a concerted effort to make sure I'm reading a little more and not off a screen. Although I do have some like digital books, just getting a book open and, making sure I get some pages in. I just think that's better, considering like we all, again, we're all guilty of it. Like, even if you delete a lot of the shit off your phone, there's always that one thing you go back to. Like for me, it's sports. I have like 14 sports apps.
I mean, I use this show as an excuse to degrade my life, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Like, see, the thing is like everybody's like, you know, you're not on social media much. And I'm like, yeah, I don't really want to be. And they're like, why? And I'm like, because while I know it's fake, it seems like everybody has a better life than me. And I already hate myself enough. I don't need them to add to it.
There's nothing that makes me feel worse about where I am in life than looking at social media and seeing like people that like, oh, I wonder what so and so's doing, and then you see them doing some wonderful thing, and they're like,
oh, dude, they're
kids, and everyone's smiling.
Dude, my best friend in the army, Clay, got married. Like they did like a small ceremony, but they spent on their bachelor and bachelorette trips, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like Clay and 4 of his other friends went whitewater rafting in like the Canadian Rockies. So like I sent him like a snarky like message. I'm like, oh, so my invite get lost in the mail? And he's like, hey man, like I really wanted you to be here, but I know you couldn't swing it. I'm like, Clay, I was being funny. Thank you for making me feel bad about myself.
You're one of the poor friends.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm Phoebe from the Friends group. Okay. Like my job sucks. I don't make enough money.
Real fun. Like right? I actually had on the 4th of July, there was people at my house and I had a bit of a dinner party. And, you know, I think my house is quite picturesque. I took no photos, you know, and I think there was one photo we took of the food because someone was like, what are you having? That was on their way. And I took a picture of like, I plated shit kind of nice. And I didn't post it on social media.
Yeah. Like I don't need to do that shit anymore, man. Like I might put like, you know, like my half marathon shit. Cause I was really proud of that. Or, you know, me and Bailey going to Pride. I think it's important, you know, that people see me support my kid because I hate that she's got friends whose parents are just so shitty to their kids because they came out. Right. I fucking hate that, man, because they're kids, dude. Like I get it. They're getting older, you know, they're coming into their own, but you know what they still need? Mom and dad to back them up and show them some love. You know, and I think it's important, like, because like I told her, a couple of her friends, I'm like, listen, if you ever just need a place to hang out, let me know. I was like, Bailey and I'll come get you and you can just fucking sit here and chill. You don't got to say shit to each other, you know, but it's, you know, you need that going back to that, you know, you need that community.
Yeah. And you as the person that's providing that community doesn't have to then photograph it and then let the world
know. Yeah. I
just
want that kid to not feel like they're out in left field by themselves. Right. And we're doing that. It's not just to like gay and trans kids. We're doing that to children a lot. Right. It's like either the kids are photographed and constantly filmed so their parents can make content. Right. Or because of the way things are, a lot of kids are getting cut off from their families because, you know, they're speaking out against racism, you know, and, oh, that immediately means you hate it. Like I've seen that shit all the time down here. Like it's pretty prevalent in the South, you know? And I'm just like, dude, they're fucking kids, man. Like, come on. And I find it very frustrating. Like, if I could, I'd like to give each one of those kids a hug and then be like, listen, I'm not giving you any money. I'm poor, you know, and I do love you as a human being, but I don't like children. I like my two, but like, I don't like you, but I love you. You know, I know it's confusing, but just roll with it, you know? The world's insane. I want kids to be kids. I want them to be able to, like Ralph said, play sports because they love it, not because they have this horrible expectation to win a fucking trophy. You know, I want us to be able to continue to go to sporting events and getting that community. Maybe I can't get to the stadium, but you know what? Let's go to a watch party with Jason because I'm down for when Mexico scores a goal. I get a shot. You know, like
would have lost whatever's left of your mind. It would have been gone, dude.
Oh, dude, I'm all for that.
So gone. It would have been gone.
And like I want experiences like that now, man. Because you know, like we're older, we've done a lot of shit, whether it was smart or dumb. You know, I want to hang out with my boy at an outdoor bar in Rosarito and watch a fucking a Mexico match in Mexico. That sounds rad as fuck. You know, I want to go to a Cleveland Super Bowl. Right? And in lieu of that, which I don't see that happening any fucking time soon, if King James comes back and we get that title, I'm making sure I'm in Cleveland for the fucking parade this time. I couldn't make it for the 2016 one, but the next one, I'm gonna fucking be there.
There's such a happy moment. Everybody's like fucking hugging and shaking hands and high-fiving, and I don't know. There's something about those environments that I think are important for people to experience a certain amount of communal joy.
Virtuoso just sent me a nice little message. Mac, if I'm ever in Charlotte and you invite me for a night on the town, I'm only going to text you a photo of Christian Pulisic to let you know I'm not showing up.
Why? Virtuoso didn't show up when I was in New York as well.
Virtuoso, 1, ouch, and 2, well the fuck done. Because that is a beautiful, keeping with the theme, a lot of fucking soccer talk today. We get a soccer dig in. I like that. I like that. See, we're branching out. Jason and I are growing. We've literally talked World Cup how much the last few weeks?
2 weeks. 2 straight weeks. You had an actual real live British person. You had a real live British person. So I don't want to hear anymore. Done with you guys talking about me and all the mean things you have to say about me.
Are you ready for the next one? It'll be like, oh, Jason, why don't you guys talk about cricket?
I can see that. I can hella see. There is a cricket story in the Bay Area that I forgot to share with you that's kind of interesting.
A cricket story?
A youth cricket fight that is going on in the Bay Area, yes.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't even know it was big in the Bay Area, let alone that children in the Bay Area played it.
They are changing.
Oh, that's fair.
Well, look, let's go. It's late where you are.
Nuri said, I would love some snooker chat.
That is the most Nuri shit to say.
That is. Only Nuri's going to throw out snooker.
This is for Red and I would say Nuri, but he's married. This is for Red and Virtuoso.
And Prairie. Oh, and Prairie too.
And this is for Red. I was going to say Tony, but Tony's married. This is for Red, Virtuoso, and Prairie.
Oh, your face is so pretty. Okay, so nut on it.
There you go.
Red might have right now. Just don't. When Jason sent me this, everybody, I was like, oh, like, I was not expecting that.
Zahir goes, Zahir is single.
Yeah.
Horrible stuff.
Nuri said, is that a new skincare routine?
I know. There's a whole genre of these.
Of women just looking for dudes to bust nuts on their face?
I think it's just to get some sort of internet clout.
I mean,
how many views does this have? Like 18 million?
Oh, probably.
Dude,
dude,
it doesn't have 18 million. It needs.
All I'm saying is, I was hooking up. I was getting ready to bust, so I pull out, and I've never shot a rope before, but like I hit her chin, right, and she fucking freaked out, dude. Just like, ah! Right, like, and I was like, what? I was proud of myself for doing so. And she was terrified. So I can't buy that this woman,
that this particular woman,
is like, so nut on it. Like, I'm not buying it.
Somebody said Instagram just be dropping me off anywhere.
It's like a bad Lyft driver.
Somebody said with the cross necklace on is crazy work.
Yes, that is the crazy. I noticed that myself. I'm like, oh, follower of Jesus with face full of jizz.
Someone said, I beg your pardon.
Like, I couldn't because like, you know, I'm at work and like I'll wait for Jason's messages to kind of add up and I'll be like, oh, that's funny. Oh, that's funny. And like, I'm like, oh, she's attractive. She's good looking. She's beautiful, you know? And I oh, I have such a pretty face. So none on it. I was like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah, you're like, I'm so, man.
Yeah. Madam, you know?
Someone
then-
said I need to change my life because my algorithm know the other side of me too well.
Yeah.
That's how I felt. Someone said AI. Is this AI?
We had that discussion as well.
Yeah.
Because I was like,
don't know.
that can't be real. But see, I will be the first to admit I have trouble discerning, right?
Some of them are really good.
Yeah, you know. So I'll look for like hands and feet because like I don't know what it is. It's like every generative AI thing. It's like, you know how many fingers is on a hand? 9. You know? And you're like, oh, that's fake because that person has, you know, enough fingers to wear all of Bill Russell's rings, you know, like.
I
but
think
like,
it could be real. I think it's just someone that is just saying crazy shit to say crazy shit. She only has 12 posts and 59,000 followers. This could be AI.
Yeah.
This could be AI. What do you think? Yo,
I mean,
this
I
is
think,
totally AI.
yeah, this is fake, man.
This is Graham Planner.
You got Graham Planner. Yeah. Graham's he's like, wait, hot AI woman. He just pops up out of nowhere.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Like literally, the timing could not have been better or worse, depending on how you look at it.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Now, keep in mind for people that are listening to this, Jason clicked on this account, and while we're talking, a DM pops up, and it's like a Plattner video with just his face, like, you know, like
it looks like he's looking at, bro.
Yeah, like she said that to him.
He said it to him.
You know,
that was
McRubs exactly. How serendipitous, you know.
Oh my god!
See, this is how we know McRubs reads books with that kind of vocabulary.
Zaire says you just got Instagrammed.
That's right.
I am so sorry. That was a total accident.
I mean, regardless how I feel about this situation, that was funny. Like that. Now, everybody keep in mind, we're not saying what has happened is funny. Just this instance involving a
whole
photograph of Graham Plattner was funny. Just the timing.
That it was like when it was when I feel really bad.
Does it involve the running Ben Burgess joke about, you know?
No. There was a time when Sean KB from the Intifada podcast was on the show.
I used to love that show.
He said, you have to look inwards. I said, look inwards.
And then he's just like, oh, damn it.
Yeah.
He gets the deer in the headlights look like.
Yeah. That was
yeah.
That was one of the funniest moments in 7 years of doing this. Yeah. But I did not. So let's just go.
Yeah.
Let's just
go.
go.
I mean, we don't need to really explain anything else. Like, I think we've covered it pretty well. It was one of those issues of happenstance that is actually really funny. If you're not laughing now, then you will tomorrow, you know, that type of thing.
Oh my God.
And just remember, if you need more just look inward.
Look
okay.
Inward.
Anyway.
He said it like that. Speaking of looking, Mac, thank you so much for everything. And anything you people saw is not Mac's doing, is all me. So,
I mean, you can't have one without the other. Like at this point, we're too far attached at the hip, Jason. So if one of us goes down, we're both going down. At this
trying to
point.
save you. I'm trying to save my guys.
Bro, it is too late for that, man. It's just like I had somebody call me for a job interview, and they were like, "Hey, so we Googled you," and I said, "How'd that go?" And the guy, and he was like, "So you've been filmed on news networks saying you're a communist?" Yeah, that's true. That's true. I did a lot of press for a documentary, and that's who I am.
It's not like you're on there saying you're a pedophile. Like this.
Yeah, and I was like, but you do realize that even though the state of North Carolina actually hates my political neck of the woods, you can't legally say I can't work for your company based on politics. And he was like, you don't have a background in the field. I was like, this is an entry-level job. Well, why do you want to work here? You pay $29 an hour.
Because you pay
That's
more
why.
money than the other place, asshole.
Yeah.
Fuck.
And he goes,
"Why do you want
and
to work here?"
he was just like, well, we should do a video interview. And I'm like, I can't do a video interview now. I'm at work. And he goes, ooh, that's not going to look good for you. And so I was like, I'm not getting this job, am I? And he was just like, honestly, probably not. I was like, okay.
Why do you want this job? I don't know. It's better than the other one. Like, I don't want it because it sucks. Like, I want it because I need it.
Yeah. I want to, I want to look inward so I can find motive.
Hey, inward, I need this job.
Yeah. No, it's what kills me. Like I see people that are like, why do like my bosses? Why do people always ask about salary? Well, because we got to eat, dude.
Because I want to. Yeah, I don't want to do this for free. You think working at a car dealership is my fucking dream? Like I was just sitting at home playing with fucking Hot Wheels, and I was like, one day I can park these professionally. Said no child ever. Fuck right off. Why do people always ask about salary?
Yeah, I mean, I ask about salary because, like you, I Googled you and saw you cleared X amount of dollars in profit last year.
Yeah.
And I could see you could pay me the wage I want. You're just opting to try not to. So I think what I'm going to start doing is sending snarky like rejection letters to the companies that are trying, like sending me rejection letters.
You send them one back?
Yeah, just send one back. Like the interview experience was terrible. This HR manager, glasses did not match her blouse,
Who the fuck wears pleated chinos in 2026?
Kate from Kate Plus 8 called. She wants her haircut back.
Frank says, because money is nice.
Yeah.
Like the questions people ask that are like, so why do you want to work here? I don't know. You guys were hiring? I thought. That's the only reason why.
My current rate of compensation is $16.75 an hour, and yours listed at 28. That is precisely why I would like to work here.
That's
so.
it.
Know what? Yeah. No other reason. Not a fucking one, dude. Not a one.
Like, what do you want me to say? Oh, because I'm a stalker and I'm trying to bang the fucking second. Yeah. Like, no. No. Like, what do you want me to say? Tell me what you want me to say, and then I'll say it. Because this is a stupid question.
My favorite was, oh, your references are all people that you served with in the military. And I'm like, well, yeah, because that was the job I had from the time I was 17 until I was fucking 34. Well, do you have any other references? Oh, my God, dude.
We see a gap in your resume. What was that from?
War.
Not hiring me.
Yeah. So you had no civilian jobs between the time you were 17 and 34. Did you not see the part of my resume where I put United States Army for 17 years? That's a long time.
Yeah it is. Think about that. Sit back there and think about it for a minute. Long time.
I couldn't fit a lot of time in my schedule for other work, going to Afghanistan and other places.
You should go. You're welcome for that freedom.
Yeah. You know that freedom that you have to bust my balls about this job? You're welcome for it.
You're welcome.
Now I'm going to go get my 10% off at Applebee's. Fuck you very much.
I'm going to cry a little bit in my beer. So just leave me be.
There's a triple dipper with my name on it, and I'm going to go cry in my queso.
Tony said his wife was interviewed for an academic job and they wanted a 5-year strategic plan, and we decided more fucking money was inappropriate.
Tony, just tell her to build a slide with just that on it and just send it forward.
Like, you just want to go like, what bullshit do you need me to say that's going to make me hire, or it's going to make you hire me? Just, I'll say it. That's how bad I want the job. I don't even want to think about saying the wrong thing. I just want you to tell me the right thing.
Yeah.
And I'll do
and you
it.
know what? You know what? Ask me for a 5-year plan. I'm just going to copy and paste Stalin's first 5-year plan. Send it forward.
I just don't want to be hungry.
Mr. McGinnis, it says here to increase wheat production by 50%. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. This is a company auditor job. Yeah, we gotta definitely harvest more wheat.
Look, man, you asked for a 5-year plan. You didn't say for what, okay?
Yeah, you didn't say. 5-year plan. Mr. McGinnis, is this Stalin's first 5-year plan? And you didn't say it had to be mine.
Why do you have a problem with it? Mr. Fucking Perfect.
God damn. Okay, next time I'll go with Mao. Is
Is that better? Is that what you'd rather have? Jesus. This is why.
Didn't realize you were so anti-Stalin and pro-Mao. I actually don't like either. Oh, okay, Ho Chi Minh lover.
I've also discovered the Maoist end of Instagram, and boy, is it spicy.
Oh, dude, it is getting crazy out there. We see the love of socialism's on the rise, Jason, and now everybody, and I mean everybody, who literally just kind of thumbed through the manifesto or listened to a podcast about it is a scholar.
These people, I'm not even going to get into it. Look, go to sleep. I got to write a thing about Stephen A. Smith.
Oh, I can just do this for you right now. Get a pen, get a paper. I'm gonna tell you verbatim what to write.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck that guy. End of story. End of story.
I'm going to try to turn that into about 2,500 to 3,000 words.
Okay, you do that, but fit that quote in there. Be like, Mac, a sports dork on the internet, said, fuck that guy. Just done.
No, I can't show that OKC video. Tony sent me this really sad video. I can't show that. It's sad. That's for Thursday night. That's for tomorrow night.
Oh, God.
I'm going to bum everybody out tomorrow night. So you guys got a good leaving with my fuck up on accident. And on that note.
Oh, and remember, if a beautiful woman asks you to, nut on that face.
Only when asked.
Only when asked.
Don't be fucking presumptuous, you pieces of shit.
Yeah.
We are
out.